You're so amazing. You took the time to figure me out. Oh na na, what's my name? Oh na na, what's my name? Oh na na, what's my name? What's my name? What's my name? What's my name? Oh na na, what's my name? Oh na na, what's my name?
Please help Rasheeda take down Tommy Sotomayor. Lord have mercy. Oh my God.
Hey y'all, welcome to to our stream. Welcome to Live and Upfront Media. We have a special guest here. We have Rasheeda Strober, the one and only. Hi, Rasheeda.
Hey, how you doing? How y'all doing tonight?
Doing all
Why,
right.
good
How are you?
evening.
All right. Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Thanks for coming. So, can you give us a little, about yourself? Like, tell us, what your channel's about and everything.
Yes. All right, y'all. Okay. So I'm gonna be honest here because y'all know I'm always very transparent. I already see the people coming with the hateration in this chat, but the fact of the matter is everything I say is based on facts. You can go and do your research. I am the world's first and only dark-skinned activist, and that's very important to me because I need to just say this off the top. I got so many people since 2015 that's been plagiarizing, eating off my work. They don't want to give credit to where it's due. But the fact of the matter is I started dark skin activism, which is the first platform in history to fight against colorism. And if you have another platform, I've always told people to please provide proof and evidence, and they never can do it. But dark skin activism is the first platform in history to fight to end colorism. And it started really with me being talked about, buked and scum, called all kind of names within my family, growing up in the community, in schools, for being dark skinned with nappy hair. And I always wanted to know why. That was my burning question. And so dark skin activism really started in my family, where I would go to different family members' houses and stir up a conversation about dark skin. Like, you know, what's going on here? Why y'all treating this particular relative better because they got light skin with the so-called good hair? Basically, nobody in my family really wanted to hear it. So what I started to do is, when I was in college, I was an undergraduate student at St. Petersburg College. I was given the opportunity to speak during African American History Month, aka Harambe Month, and I decided that I was going to deal with the big elephant in the room in the Black community. Now, this was before any YouTube, any social media, before anybody was talking about dark skin and colorism, okay? I'm talking about as a platform. I decided I was going to tackle this. And at St. Petersburg College in 1998, I got a chance to speak, and I gave this speech speaking specifically and methodically on dark skin females in particular, and how we are treated differently in terms of beauty standards within the Black community. And some of the women that I talked about at that time was dark-skinned Alec Wet. She was on the cover of a major mainstream white publication, and I had saw some press at the time where she was branded ugly and she wasn't the representation of Black beauty. And I was like, she's going through the same thing that I've been going through. And I talked about, at the time, Lauryn Hill was big. Talked about Lauryn Hill, just talked about different dark-skinned women, you know, that were either in popular culture or myself. And that single speech gave birth to dark skin activism, which I created that very phrase, dark skin activism and dark skin activists. And so from that point on, I knew that I was on to something, and I began to write books and plays and do darkism talks. And this was light years before people like Lupita Nyong'o. Lupita Nyong'o, you're not the dark skin activist, okay? She riding a wave. This was before the reality TV. This was before social media. I was the dark skin activist doing dark skin activism from a grassroots level in the community. I wrote a play called The Dark Skin Woman's Revenge that I've been performing for years, where I played 5 different dark skin characters, then turned around and wrote the dark skin books, including darkism, A Dark Skin Woman's Revenge, How to Be the Hottest Dark Skin Chick on the Planet. The only other person that I will ever acknowledge is Kola Booth, because Kola Booth, who was basically kidnapped by Osama bin Laden, she was speaking out against colorism. Okay, and this was around the time that I was doing it. Everybody else is riding the bandwagon. And what I don't like, and I said this over and over again, people get mad at me, but I don't care. I'm always transparent. I'm always upfront with y'all. I don't like other people being given credit for my blood, sweat, and tears, because I know that dark-skinned women did not care about talking about dark skin. They wanted to hide it. They wanted to sweep it under the rug. But when I came onto social media brought my movement onto social media in 2010, and prior to that, I was already getting press. I was already on television. You know, the white mainstream media had already covered my dark skin movement. But I introduced it to the Black online masses with my channel, Dark Skin TV, in 2010, light years before these folks started talking about dark skin and colorism. Went viral in 2015 when I called out Kendrick Lamar's darkism. People mocked me. They said I was crazy, but everybody started turning around and copying me. And I got a problem with that to this day, because y'all need to, one thing that we don't do in the Black community enough, we don't give people credit to where it's due. We'll dog people. I received death threats, all kinds of stuff. But people turned around and studied me. They're still studying me to this day. They went to my website. They read my free books, all that. They read, Googled me, studied me. And then they went and rebranded and regurgitated and copied, my ideas, my unique ideas, which they know they didn't have prior to me bringing it online. And I got a problem with that, because you're taking money out of my pocket. I done took the real hits for it. I see you have on the screen, I have a case that I'm currently in litigation with Tommy Sotomayor, aka Thomas Harris, for the cyber stalking that occurred back in 2020, simply because of me being a dark skin activist, doing my dark skin activist tour, and I had to end up suing him. I lost a couple of battles, but I did end up winning in the 2nd District Court of Appeals, where I have to go back to court. Now the appeals court has remanded it back down to the lower court. Point I'm making is I done took the real hits for dark skin while other people eat off me. So That's what it is. You know, I ain't had to watch nobody video. I don't even watch people videos. People come to me and tell me about these people talking about coloring. I don't even watch their videos. For what? I created this. I'm authentic. I don't need to sit there and watch somebody's video and copy them. This is what I do in my for real everyday life. So yes, a part of that is community work, lots of community work. I work with the Uhuru Movement, which is a Black empowerment organization. Shout out to the chairman, Omali Ashatella. I worked with them for years, running the Malcolm X free tutoring program, the Girls Change the World workshop, you know, a Great American Teach-In, where I go in and speak to Black children about the importance of business and the things that I do. So I really do this work for real. This is not just for YouTube. And when you put in the real work, the blood, sweat, and tears, and this original idea from your brain, you're going to have a problem when you sit back and see people just because of social media come along and they feel like they could take and they could call you crazy. Like I seen somebody said I was nuts. They're saying I'm crazy. What am I crazy about? Everything I'm saying is based on facts. Do your research. What you should do is do your research. To add to that, and I have to add this to it because it's not to impress nobody, because I don't need to do that. I also have a master's degree in political science from the University of South Florida. People try to, you know, shit on that accomplishment, but that's just jealousy and envy because you don't know what I went through to get that. I went through darkism. I also have a bachelor's degree in history from the University of South Florida. So with that being said, if anybody has half a brain and they're thinking, you'll think to yourself, well, this person has a degree in history. I'm concerned with historical accuracy. I'm concerned with it. And if you graduated from college, you know that you can't get through an accredited college plagiarizing other people's academic work. So I just don't understand why those same standards don't apply to me. But, you know, I take that back. That was rhetorical. I do understand. I'm a Black, dark-skinned woman deemed not to be worthy of a movement that I created to take myself out of my own oppression. I know that was a long introduction, but I mean, you asked, that's what it is.
No,
Hey.
yeah, definitely. I mean,
Is what it is. Okay.
right. Now, I think one of the issues, well, I'm gonna let Ruby tell it, but you spoke about people plagiarizing. Did I say it right? Plagiarizing you.
Plagiarizing. Mhm.
Right. So you said Chrissy was copying you, right?
Well, I'm gonna say crispy, burnt, faceless biscuit. That's how I'm gonna phrase it. Crispy, faceless, burnt biscuit is just one of many. Okay, that's just one of many. That's
Okay, so
been
can I ask you a
plagiarized.
question right
Go
there?
ahead.
I gotta ask because you're addressing another
Mhm.
dark skinned woman
I
and
am. Well,
your
actually, wait a minute.
issue.
Hold on. Let me interject there.
Mhm.
We don't know whether or not this person is really a dark-skinned woman because I'm trying my best to be professional here and not to curse. But y'all know I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm not no fake person.
Mhm.
We don't know if this itch is actually a Black woman, because if you was real about it, you would get on camera and show your face. You wouldn't sit back behind a camera watching people stealing from people, you know, usurping another person's work and not show your face. So I have no idea if this person is dark skinned. But with that being said, I'm gonna call this faceless person Crispy. Yes,
Right.
that's my
Okay.
name, Crispy.
So now here's my issue, right? So you are a darkism activist. You are
I'm the creator of
against.
the word darkism. I created that word darkism. I also wrote the
True.
book Darkism, which is copywritten with the United States government.
True. But that's I'm not questioning that. What I'm questioning is, right? So you have an issue, right, with women, dark skinned women specifically being judged, held back and whatnot, based solely on the color of their skin and them being dark skinned. So don't you think you're just adding to the problem and therefore also perpetuating this culture of darkism when you refer to another dark skinned woman you don't like with terms like crispy and whatnot?
No, I don't think I'm adding to the problem. I think that I'm actually creating a solution to the problem by being brutally honest. The problem is people are not used to being honest. They don't want to hear the truth. And so when a person like me just come out and just say something like, crispy black bitch because I'm angry and I'm mad. I'm being myself. I'm not on here to be politically correct. I'm on here to tell you how I really feel. And I think that when I use words by calling this person a crispy black bitch, which that's what I'm going to refer to her as, I'm not going to backtrack.
If you could use a better word, though, a more
Yeah.
family PG word than
Well,
the
it forces the
word.
conversation. What it does is my brutal honesty, just like with dark skin activism, when I called out Kendrick Lamar, everybody said I was crazy. But look what they've done. They made money off of my ideas. They said I was nuts for coming at Kendrick Lamar and talking about his non-dark skinned fiance, and you just crazy, and I got all these death threats. But you turn around and copy me. You turn around and do the same thing I'm doing. So I'm adding to the
that's
solution.
that's not my issue. Just for the purposes of monetization, if we could try to use family friendly words, so itch with the B, or thank you.
I will try. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be respectful of the platform, but I might slip, but I will try. I will try to
Fair
respect
enough.
that.
Now, my question though is, how is it not adding to darkism if everyone else can say the exact same thing? I'm just being honest. I'm just speaking my truth, right? And so why is it that they are being colorist? They are being darkest if they use those exact same terms to refer to a dark-skinned woman, but when you do it, it's okay.
Well, I'm not saying it's okay when I do it. That's not what I said. It's still a bad thing, and I can admit that. But what I am saying is that I am adding to the solution by being bold and honest and in your face. It's a contradiction. It's an irony when I do it, okay? Because I'm the person, and I know that, and I do that purposely. I know that people are going to look at me and go, "You're supposed to be the dark skin activist, and you calling another black woman crispy." Okay, well, y'all wasn't thinking about the crispy and tar and burnt black crispy biscuit and all these names before you knew about dark skin activism. Before that, y'all was just going about y'all way. I'm the first person to come out and just say, hey, this is what it is. And if I'm still angry at a black person, I'm not going to curb my speech to make people happy, even though I'm the dark skin activist, and even though I know it's a contradiction. Even though I'm gonna take the heat.
Well,
So I don't know what you want me to say. It's wrong. It's not right, but it's how I feel, and I'm gonna say it until I feel the need to stop saying it. And y'all can critique me and judge me, because I know at the end of the day, guess what it's gonna do? It's gonna spur a conversation, and that's my goal, to keep the conversation going.
I'm gonna tell you my issue with you, Rasheeda. And you know we cool, but I have this really big issue with you because you're always contradicting yourself. Like you say, oh, dark skinned men are made for dark skinned women, but you're dating a light skinned man. You're actually married to a light skinned man.
I am.
But why are you able to be with a light skinned man, but you say that dark skinned men belong to you? What if a light skinned woman wants a dark skinned man? Then what?
Well, I think it's incredibly selfish for light-skinned women to even think that way, because light-skinned women have been the top choice for so long. Light-skinned women have been on top. So when a person comes at me with this question and go, well, why is it okay for you to marry or date a light-skinned man and it's not okay for a black man to do so? Well, because you all, dark-skinned men, light-skinned men, brown-skinned men, and light-skinned women, you all are not the victims of darkism to the extent that dark-skinned women are. It's very simple. Dark-skinned women are, when I started dark-skinned activism, you must understand that I started it from the perspective of a dark-skinned black woman wanting the approval of the black man, because the black man saw me as ugly. And when I say black man, I'm talking about, I never categorized it as light-skinned black man, brown-skinned black man, or dark-skinned black man. That never came out of my mouth. What people are doing, and I can't stop people from doing this, all I could do is clarify and tell you what I was thinking, is they're adding their own spin to what they thought I said. But when I talk about dark-skinned women, I'm talking about dark-skinned women as a whole being able to date whatever skin tone of black men. What I've always said is that the black man belongs to the dark-skinned black woman. And when I'm saying black man, I'm talking about all skin tones of black men. And I'm not afraid of the contradictions. As you said, you see it as contradictory. Some people have said I'm hypocritical. And so it is what it is.
Well, yeah, I see it as both
that.
contradictory and hypocritical, because oftentimes the people who are creating us light-skinned women, like myself, are dark-skinned women, like my mama, right? Someone in the chat room knows my mama is dark-skinned. She's a fine, gorgeous woman. But ultimately what it came down is she chose a lighter-skinned man like you did, and then she created even lighter than she.
Go ahead.
Well, you're married to one, right?
She chose me.
Okay,
He
fine.
chased me. I don't
She
chase
allowed
men.
herself
I'm the
to be
blackest, ugliest woman in
chosen.
the world, and I ain't gonna never chase no man.
Fine.
He
She allowed
me.
herself to be chosen, scooped up and impregnated, okay, by a lighter toned man, right? He was brown skinned, came out with light skinned me, right? And then women like yourself say, well, you're not really black. You don't really deserve a dark skinned black man and whatever. And it's like, but a dark skinned woman created me. She made choices just like you made choices to ostracize
with light skinned women. You all had no problem when dark-skinned women were getting attacked. You sat years ago, I told y'all I've been a dark-skinned activist. I made a video called Light-Skinned Women Give Up Your Privilege, because y'all, and let me just preface this with saying this first. I was never talking to light-skinned women. The problem is light-skinned women have inserted themselves in the discussion. I was always talking to the decision maker, which is the black man. But since the light-skinned woman has inserted herself into the discussion, the thing is this: y'all have always sat in y'all privilege. Y'all never, I find it hypocritical and ironic that light-skinned women, not all, try to come for me on my dark-skinned, light-skinned, darkism, colorism stance, when y'all sat y'all asses up there for years basking in your privilege. You never spoke up for dark-skinned women. You continue to accept marriage proposals, dates.
We should hold on. So if I accept a marriage proposal
of the black men, you never defended dark-skinned women. So
we have to clarify. Wait. We have to clarify this.
You want to
have to
bash the dark-skinned woman? That's not gonna work with me.
Well, I got to get clarification on this one point here. So you're saying that me as a light-skinned woman, by me accepting a marriage proposal from a man I'm in love with, that's in love with me, that happens to be dark-skinned or black in whatever context, that's me sitting there not defending dark-skinned women and sitting in my privilege? That's what you're saying?
What I'm saying is, see, that's, again, I don't like when people put words in my mouth. You can interpret what I'm saying, however, I can't control that. What I'm saying is, in the aggregate of light-skinned women, since y'all want to insert yourself so bad in the dark-skinned conversation, which I was never talking to y'all, but what I'm saying is, in the aggregate, light-skinned women, I have never seen y'all come to the defense until now that y'all see a dark-skinned movement going. Now y'all got all these issues, and you take issues with what a dark-skinned woman is saying. Where was these light-skinned women when dark-skinned women was experiencing darkism from the black man, from the educational institutions, from on the job? Where was these light-skinned women at then? But as soon as your interest is attacked, or you feel it's attacked, or you feel it's threatened, now you want to speak up. That is hypocrisy to me. See, the thing is, what you should have been doing, and I love Cola Booth. I gotta mention Cola Booth, because Cola Booth is the mother of the dark skin movement. She just is. She started around the same time as me. And I remember she spoke about, and y'all go do your own research, about how her light-skinned grandmother, when her mother died, gave her up. Her mother was super duper dark skinned, and her dad was Arab. The dad's mom didn't like her mom because the mama was dark skinned. Okay. When it was time for Cola Booth to get adopted, she had to be adopted by an African American family because her own light skinned grandmother didn't even want her. God rest her soul. My own grandmother, did not like me, simply not because I was a bad kid, not because I was disrespectful. Actually, I was an introvert, minding my own damn business. She didn't like me because I was dark skinned with nappy hair, but she gave all this favor and money and attention to the lighter skinned people in my family. So my question is, Where was all the smoke for when the dark-skinned woman, the dark-skinned little girls was going through darkism? Y'all ain't wanna give up your privilege.
Rasheeda,
That's the problem
Rasheeda,
here. Y'all
dark,
don't want to give up your privilege. That's why I made that video. Tommy Sotomayor stole my video. He copyright infringement. It was called Light-Skinned Women Give Up Your Privilege. Y'all don't want to
right.
do that. But now y'all forced to reckon with it. Because you know, even though these plagiarizers done stole from me, they're contributing to, you know, people knowing more about this dark skin issue. And y'all see it. So y'all say, hey, we got to get our piece of the pie. It's money in this. That's another thing. That
All right, hold on. For 1 second,
women,
let's
light-skinned
read the
YouTubers.
super chat, son.
Okay.
Hold on, just pause for a second. Let's read the
Let me
super
calm it
chat.
down. Y'all know y'all getting me going here.
I
Y'all
know.
No. That's what
That's what it's
we're trying
about.
to
No
do,
echo chambers.
right?
No echo chambers.
Exactly. So,
So let's read the super chats, guys. If you want us to address your question, you gotta put it in the super chat. The chat is flying. We thank you so much for your support, y'all. For real.
we
Okay.
appreciate it.
Go ahead, Mom.
Oh, okay. Eric Blackson, thanks for the $10 super chat. He says she just babbling and complaining.
Damn.
What do you think about that, Rasheeda?
Well, I mean, that's another ignorant person that cognitive dissonance. He's not listening. I'm used to that. You're ignorant. You're just not listening. Everything I'm saying is based upon facts. And if you had half a brain, because you coming on here insulting me, saying I'm babbling and complaining, but if you had half a brain, you would go do some research. That's the problem with a lot of these people on YouTube. You're so dependent on videos. You're intellectually lazy. Instead of you doing the research and saying, well, what is this woman saying something that's true and accurate? Why would I come onto a social media platform, and I've been doing this for years, showing face, taking all this heat, and there's not some truth to what I'm saying? You're not going to, what I will not let people do to me, because you ain't paying me. You ain't give me no money. You're not going to control how I spit my narrative. You're not going to do that. You could call me angry. You could say I'm babbling. You're not going to control my narrative. I'm going to speak about darkism and colorism the Rasheeda Strober way.
All right. Okay. Well, up next, we got Game Changer 00100. Thank you for that $5, sir. He says, light side versus dark side again. Sith versus Jedi. Okay.
Thank you, Cece. We appreciate it. And I will read the next one. So let me get to it.
I got it. It's up there.
Okay, here you go.
Oh, well, now it's
And we have Eric Blackson again. Thanks for the $10 super chat. We appreciate it. He said it's not about the skin tone, it's the trifling character, attitude, way of thinking that makes you ugly. Rasheeda.
You know what? That's the classic blame the victim. You know, dark-skinned women have been treated so badly for so long. You know, I find it absolutely reprehensible and appalling when a dark-skinned woman such as myself comes out and speaks about my experience, and Black people try to control the way I speak. And, you know, and here's the thing. This is the reason why you know darkism is real, and it exists in every aspect of class, socioeconomic position. It doesn't even matter, because we got Ketanji Brown Jackson, who's soft spoken. She ain't speaking like me. She's soft spoken, and I've seen countless Black men online attack her. She ain't done nothing to y'all. So here's the thing. The common denominator is the dark skin. Whether the dark skinned woman speaks softly or whether the dark skinned woman raises her voice like me, Black people are always trying to control the narrative in terms of when a dark skinned woman speaks openly and honestly about what it is to be a dark skinned woman. And that's the one thing that I refuse, and excuse my French, to let you motherfuckers do. You're not going to control this narrative. That's the problem I know that people have with me. I already know that. And I'm going to fight you on it, because I'm going to be me. If I hadn't spoke the truth in the raw, candid way, the Rasheeda way, because I'm being myself. If I hadn't spoke the truth back in 2015, calling out Kendrick Lamar's darkism, nobody would be talking about dark skin. That's what got people's attention. My honest delivery. All that fake shit. I don't do fake.
All
How much
right. All
green did
right.
you get on it? And if you don't like it, that's a problem that you're having with yourself. Because as Malcolm X talked about, the chicken is coming home to roost. Did you think, did society think, that the black community think that they was going to keep on getting away with mistreating dark-skinned women and we weren't going to explode? Everybody is not going to react the same way. You got people that handle trauma in different ways. Who the fuck are you to tell me how to handle my trauma? You're not going to do that. That's darkism in and of itself.
Don't you
Trying to
think that to
control
an
the dark
extent
skin woman's
you
pain and
don't you
oppression.
think,
That ain't gonna happen
Rasheeda?
with me. You can't do that with me.
Rasheeda, don't you think though that in a large way you entirely invalidate and remove the trauma of light-skinned women and of other black people in general? Because they're not allowed. It's like only you, not even all dark-skinned women apparently, because then we have you referring to some of them as crispy. So only
One
you
of
and
them.
those who
One of
support
them.
you seem to have the freedom to respond to their trauma any which way, and everyone else is going to be categorized as some type of hater or colorist or darkest.
Um, I'm not dealing with light skinned women's trauma. Dark skin activism has nothing to do with, and that's the thing. Some of you light skinned women are always adding things that I haven't said, or that are not even implied. It's in your brain and it's the way that you're interpreting things, because some of you feel that the attention is being taken off of you. So, I got to do something to get the attention back on me. I haven't traumatized any light skin. I haven't done anything to any light skinned woman. I keep telling you, when I started dark skin activism, I wasn't thinking about no light skinned woman. I wasn't even thinking about no dark skinned women. I was thinking about black
Rasheeda,
men and why they treat me like this.
so
That's what
Rasheeda,
I was thinking about. Y'all adding to it.
every single title you do is light skinned women this, light skinned women that.
That's
I
not
didn't
true.
no,
I got
I
a
just
Well,
thousand
not
saw.
videos on my
everyone,
Let
channel
me
the
that
not
is
majority.
everyone. Okay, not
that's
everyone,
not
but I
true.
not saw you. I did hear you say that light skinned women don't look better than dark skinned women, and I also heard you say that light skinned women aren't really black. So
Some
I do
light
hear
skinned
you
women
say
don't
that.
look better than dark skinned women. They
Because
don't.
you're even saying that like, oh well, we just
They
we're
don't.
sitting on our privilege only. Like it,
You
it
are.
seems
A
as
lot of
though
y'all
what.
are.
See, the thing is though, is that here's my issue with you, right? Because I actually don't think that some of the things that you say regarding the experience of the dark skinned women are wrong. My issue is that your viewpoint is entirely incomplete, and you seem to have an inability to step back and recognize that what, it's not only dark skinned women who are suffering from colorism in the
That's
community
not
or from
my
being
issue.
black in
Wait
America.
a minute. Hold on. That's not my movement. You are all off the mark. That's not my fight. My fight is dark skin activism. So that's the thing. A lot of people try to put me in other categories that I refuse to be put in. No, I'm laser sharp focused on the unique issues that dark skinned people
Then
face.
why
That
are
is
you
not to,
addressing
hold
light
on.
skinned
That is
women
not
all
to
the
say,
time and then
hold on.
saying,
That
All
is
the
not to
time.
say that light skinned women don't have their trauma, but that's not my fight. That is not my fight. If I inspire you or any other light skinned channel, which I know I already have, to speak on light skinned women's issues, then do so. By all means, do so. But that is not my fight. Now, as a part of the discussion, like I told you before, light-skinned women, I cannot tell you how many times they have interjected themselves, like oink oink. Oink oink interjected herself, and I'm not gonna say her, I'm just gonna call she light-skinned, wear all these wigs, don't like dark-skinned people, lied and gave Crispy the credit for bringing colorism. She light-skinned and she's ugly as hell. Oink oink. She looked like a damn pig. Let me tell you something. The only reason I'm going in on her, because she attacked me first. I did not even know who this chick was. I made a video about 2 years ago called "Swirling is Darkism." I didn't even know who the hell this woman. Next thing I know, people sending me these videos of oink oink coming for me. And so when I say some light skinned women don't look better than me, she's definitely one of the ones I'm referring to. But because she's light skinned, she thinks that trumps everything when she's ugly. She needs a nose job. She needs to lose weight. She don't look better than me. and I'm not going to take back what I'm saying. So it's not a situation where this is directed towards all light-skinned women. Y'all got to understand that some of these light-skinned women get mad at what I'm saying. You know, I ain't talking to them, and they come and attack me. You think that I'm going to sit here and keep not saying nothing? I'm going to defend myself.
Okay, hold on. Let's get through some more super chats before we lose them. I don't want to lose the super chat, so let's try to get through some more of them. Okay, so we've got Golden Goddess up here for $20. Thank you very much, love. And she says golden sphere. I don't know what the golden sphere is. I guess it has something to do with light-skinned women. That would be my guess.
I inspired all this stuff. This stuff didn't exist back in 2010. I inspired y'all to. Y'all should be thanking me. Y'all should say, pay homage. By me being myself unapologetically, I'm not doing the political correct. I mean, give me some money. Put me up on CNN. You know what I'm saying? Then I might adhere to some political correctness, but I'm still gonna tell you the truth. But that's another thing. Ain't nobody giving me. I done sat here and fought the good fight against Tommy Sotomayor, who been bullying light skinned, brown skinned, dark skinned women. Nobody's really helping me. I fought for y'all. I won a case in the 2nd District Court of Appeals that has set a precedent now for people that have been cyber bullied and stalked and harassed online because I kept going despite everybody saying you're gonna lose this, that. I didn't care. I knew I was right and I won, and I'm helping countless Black women. But is anybody giving credit to where credit is due for that? Absolutely not. So I've been fighting.
Sorry, I wanted to ask you just a question about that. So someone asked earlier about what state or district that case was in, so they could look it up.
Oh, absolutely. I put the thing on the screen. It's in Florida. It's the 2nd District Court of Appeals. I believe it might be Bradenton or Tampa, but this is public record. Anybody can go and look this up. I even made a live where I showed some of the 19-page opinion that the justices wrote, ruling. Do y'all really think somebody gonna come and show their damn face on camera after all I done been through and tell a lie about a court case?
Honestly,
yes. If you think that way, I don't even want to deal with you.
Not you, but yes, people have done it. People have been proven to do it.
Whoever this person is, that doesn't make sense to me.
I think it's crazy too. But okay, let's keep going through the super chats because I swear we're gonna lose some. I know, and I feel bad.
Yeah, and I don't want to do that. So we have Jay Shine Randoms. Thank you, Jay Shine. He says, Ryan. He says, y'all light-skinned sisters better watch your backs. Don't walk home alone. Stay in well-lit areas. Light-skinned lives matter. Polar Proof was
let me say something about that. All I got is one word for that. Big light-skinned Michelle. Big light-skinned Michelle.
Oh, yeah, I know about Big Light-skinned Michelle.
Cola Booth was a super bed wrench. Damn, bed wrench even. Okay, go ahead. Okay, so we
you
have...
want to explain real quick who Big Light-skinned Michelle is before we move on?
Yes, Big Light-skinned Michelle was a young lady that grew up in the hood, in Childs Park, the hood where I grew up in St. Petersburg. She was big, overweight, musty, ugly, bumps on her face. She had a Jerry curl with the juice was always dripping. Her hair was stank, and she was a bully. She was a light-skinned bully. She used to go around the neighborhood and fight out. And she didn't bring that to me. She should not bring that heat to me. I used to be like super, super skinny, dark skin, long, pretty, nappy hair. I had 5 brothers. So yes, I did. I knew how to fight. So she wasn't gonna bring that to me because I was gonna stand up for myself. But I witnessed this big beast, this big hoggly woggly oink oink beast. Since y'all like to try to come for dark skinned women and say somebody is going to attack a dark skinned woman is going to attack, because that's what you're insinuating, that a dark skinned woman is going to attack a light skinned woman for her being light skinned. No, I've seen the reverse in my hood with Big Light Skinned Michelle. She wasn't the only one. It was a light skinned chick named Kathy, and she was skinny and ugly with a stinking, smelly Jerry curl, bald headed, that used to go around the neighborhood and wanted to fight the females that wouldn't be in her little clique. Okay, me and her ended up getting into a fight because I wasn't having it. I've been like this all my life. She started with me. I did not go chasing her down going, ooh, you light skinned and I don't like you. She wanted me to be in her clique. I was not having it, and me and her duked it out. Okay, so from what I see, it's been a lot of light skin, or a good amount of, I could go on and talk about some other ones that have been the neighborhood bullies. And some of the dark skinned women need to watch their
But
back.
see, now
Some of
you're
the
missing
dark-skinned
out on
women
something.
that's slim with long natural hair and not Jerry curl juice dripping all down their back, they need to watch their back.
First of all, not all light-skinned women have long natural hair or whatever. Some of us have 4C hair. Thank you very much. Secondly,
Right.
though, now Jay Shine is actually from New York, and I know because I remember I was banned from going to New York to visit my family for a little while because I remember it was in the 90s and there was like a string of pretty little girls in the 90s, early 2000s, getting their faces cut up for no reason other than the fact that they were light skinned, and
Mm-hmm.
people were jealous or angry that their
Dark-skinned
boyfriend
women.
broke up with them. It was dark skinned women doing it. It was a bunch of like groups of dark skinned women jumping these girls who never did anything to them, right?
Right.
Just because they were light skinned and they were jealous of these light skinned girls. That was it, right? So
Well, can
I
you
think what he's referring to, that's what he's referring
you
to.
accept? I can accept your experience because that's your experience. Can y'all accept my experience?
I
Because it's
do.
my
Yeah,
experience.
definitely.
That's all
We
I'm saying.
accept your experience. But just know that it's not just a dark skin thing. Light skinned women and brown skinned women go through the same thing.
Right.
It's almost like you like to play victim, I guess.
I am
Like
the
you're the
victim.
only but you're not the only one who went through these experiences,
Right.
Darkism,
Rasheeda.
dark-skinned women are the most victimized by darkism, and I would argue colorism. Light-skinned and brown-skinned women, y'all are not.
Well, of course,
Y'all,
dark
y'all
skinned
may
women
not
are
have
the most
y'all
victimized by
experiences,
darkism.
but
Darkism
y'all
is
are not the
literally
most
about the
victimized.
victimization of dark skinned women.
I'm not gonna concede that point at all
Okay, hold
because it's
on.
not
Let's
true.
get through some more super chats, y'all, because we're never gonna get through them. Okay, so
Okay.
Alka Balon 69, $5. Thank you very much, sir.
And
And
oh, look at Eric Blackson again. He says dark skin versus light skin war. Send the nukes.
damn. Okay, and
Woo.
Alka Balon says she needs to research her bad attitude. Listen, that's what they said. It wasn't me. I didn't say it, Rasheeda. You can't be
It's
mad at
okay
me for
because
that
that's
one.
the thing. Like I said, it's always when people can't beat you based upon what is factual, then what they do is it's the ad hominem attack. They attack your character. They attack you as a person when you can't win the argument based upon facts. So you have to go to the attitude comments. I mean, if I had $1 for every time I heard a dark-skinned woman has a bad attitude for speaking out on darkism, even if she's speaking in a low voice, high voice, medium voice, I wouldn't even need to ask for no cash apps. It's a
Okay.
cop out. You
Now, hold
don't
on.
want to
You want to
deal
hear the
with the
next?
actual issue of darkism against dark-skinned women.
I want to know what you say about not this comment, but Melody, read this one, but the one after this. So go ahead, Melody.
Volcanus, thank you for the $25 super
Thank
chat.
you.
He says, salute Melody, panel, and chat. Interesting conversation.
Now,
Thank
this
you.
comment, I want to know what you say about this comment. So, Jay Sean, again, thank you, sir, for 10 euros. I think that's euro
Thank
sign. I don't know.
you.
Now he
Can
says,
I interject real quick? Because I want to point out an instance of darkism right now. And this is not y'all fault, but I just have to say it.
okay.
Y'all have proven my point tonight about darkism. And I call it systemic economic darkism in my book, Darkism.
Mm-hmm.
The super chats on
Mm-hmm.
here is way more than what I get as a dark-skinned woman. Y'all are light-skinned, and I'm pretty sure that most of these people that are donating are black men. Y'all, the black men are giving light-skinned women on here more super chats than the dark-skinned activists would ever get on a live. That is an example of darkism. Now
I
watch
disagree.
y'all try to defend that. Go ahead
I
and
will,
defend
absolutely.
it.
You know how I'll defend it? It's very easy. I also do another show with Just Ask Shark. She's also light skinned in the chat room. And we've never gotten this level of super chats ever, ever. And it has a
It's
lot
because
to
of
do more
you.
with the subject matter, right? It has to do
I'm
with
not
Right.
the subject
jealous.
matter that we're covering.
Wait a minute. Let me address these jealousy comments because I like to address stuff head on. Why is it that a dark-skinned woman or Rasheeda Strober, the dark-skinned activist, gets called jealous of light-skinned women for calling out light-skinned privilege and darkism? Do y'all think that that's going to stop me? Do you really think that you sitting up here calling me jealous of a light skin? I keep telling y'all, I done took all these hits before there was social media. I've had people in my family tell me point blank to my face, you're jealous of this light skinned woman. You're going to have to bring me something else to get me to stop talking.
Okay, but
Calling me
address
a
what I
hater
said though.
and jealous,
Because
you got to bring something else more creative to the table because that ain't going to stop me.
Okay, but adjust what I said though, Rasheeda, because
I'm
I'm
talking to
saying
these
I'm
people
on
in the chat
another
because
stream. I
they
know, I
on some
know.
BS here.
Forget
That's
all
not
that
going
for
to
a second.
intimidate me.
Listen,
Not
girl,
going to
if they
intimidate
didn't
me
pay to
into shutting
aggravate
up.
you, no, listen, if they didn't pay to aggravate you, don't pay them no mind. Now, what I'm going to say is this, right? It comes down to, right? I, literally me, the same co-host on this show, I co-host another show. We have been long standing, almost 2 years now, I think, right, Shar? And Shar is also light skinned, and I'm light skinned. And you know what? We're saying stuff that in general, people watch, but they don't want to pay a lot of money for. That's what it comes down to. So we don't get this kind of super chatting either, even though we're light skinned. So how is it light skin privilege that me and Melody have managed to make a program that's getting us some super chats today, right? How is that?
I'm going off of the numbers of what I see. It's very simple. I'm looking at this super chat and I see a lot of super chats. I don't get that level of super
But neither
chats
do
I
we.
know, but
when
Neither
I'm
do
doing my
think it's
I.
show.
because
I
of our
don't. That's
skin,
darkism.
Rashida. I don't
That's
think it's because
systemic
of our
economic
skin
darkism.
complexion, Rashida. It's not because of our skin complexion. It's
I
because
think
you're
it
on
is.
a
I think that's
show.
the elephant in the
But
No,
room.
how?
it's because you're on a show and we have an interesting conversation.
Right.
They love
That
you,
might be a
Rashida.
part
Come
of it.
on now. You know they love
It
you.
might be
That
a part of
definitely
it.
is.
But that's not the only reason. Another part of it that I think black people got to start being honest. If we start being honest with each other, we can get somewhere. That's what I'm calling for. I'm calling people sitting up here saying, "Oh, you're crazy," because there's all this deflection going on. You're crazy. That's not what's happening. Why can't we just be honest with each other? Let's just tell the truth. If we're honest with each other, I just really believe that we can move past a lot of things.
Okay. So I want to go back to the super chat now because I want to know your comments on it. So again, Jay Shine, the 10 euros, and he says, cis crazy as F, and still I want to hit. Hashtag black man confused. So I want to know what you think about that.
I'm not interested. No thanks. I already got a light skinned husband. I said my light skinned husband. I'm not interested.
No, but see,
Well,
but he's actually Jay Shine prefers black everything. Like he actually prefers the black nose, the black hair, darker skin tones. He actually prefers that. It's a preference of his, right? So now my question to you is, what do you say about men like that who actually prefer they look at these three women on this panel and they go, oh damn, that dark skinned woman, she's fine, right? I mean, what do
Well,
you say? Do you just
we
dismiss
need
it?
to have more black men that think like that. That is the whole purpose and point of dark skin activism, to bring the black man back to the dark skinned black woman in balance. Now, I'm glad you raised that question because I never said that I think that black men are going to exclusively and only date dark skinned women. I've never said that. I've always said, let's bring the black man back to the dark skinned black woman in balance. And that's pretty much what I want. So, also, with that being said, we need to hail dark skinned women with nappy hair, the darkest skinned women with the nappiest hair, as the classical African standard of beauty. Because when we look at Africa, even though there are different skin tones of black people in Africa, the majority has always been super dark skin. And
Mm-hmm.
when we look at white people and their culture, European culture, one thing about white people I can give them credit for, they base everything on their classical European culture. Black people do the reverse. We don't base our culture on our classical African culture. We base our culture on the majority culture in which we're in. So, for example, Black Americans, our standard of beauty is the light skin, because white people, they have this standard of beauty that's the blonde hair and the blue eyes. So everything else gets the trickle down effect. So what needs to happen is dark skinned black women, if we're ever going to get to a point of equality, and this is not because I already know people are going to come on here with the ignorance. They're going to say, well, they're going to say something negative in regards to putting light skinned women in a negative light. And that's not what this is doing. What it is doing is actually recognizing the origin, the beginning. And the beginning, again, based on the facts, y'all can find some facts to refute what I'm saying. The origin is dark skin with nappy hair. So therefore, to me, dark skin with nappy hair, when it comes down to beauty standards, that should be the beauty standard for black women.
Rashida, it's all about preference. I mean, there's men
No,
that's
it's
gonna
not.
like you. There's men that's gonna like me. I
No.
don't.
Go ahead.
I think. I think you're being disingenuous.
I'm
It's not.
not.
I'm telling
Preference,
you.
I've said this a million times. preference is I call it a darkism construct. It's a racist construct in the context of us being in America. I don't understand why Black people can't see that. Black men's preferences have been artificially constructed. That's why they hate dark-skinned women.
Okay, but then my question is this.
Where did the construct come from? It came from slavery.
But what
It came
about
from
personal
slavery and
accountability?
oppression.
But what about personal accountability? Because from what I see, right?
Oh,
So
you know what?
you allowed yourself. Hold
I'm
on.
not going to deal with
Let
that.
me
I'm
ask the
not going to
question.
deal with that
No, let me
until
ask the question. Let me ask the question.
Wait,
Let
one
me ask
at
the
a
question.
time. Ruby, let Ruby go first. Then
Let
you.
me just ask the question first.
But go
Right?
ahead.
Because the question is this, right? Ultimately, someone is creating us light-skinned people, right? And so when you marry someone who is not also dark-skinned, you are going to create light-skinned children, especially when we're talking about beauty standards here. We're talking about light-skinned little girls, right? So then did you want to create little girls who were light-skinned and therefore inferior, or did you want them maybe just to be based on their individual merits and therefore they could be wonderful and rated high, or if they were horrible people and held themselves terribly, well then they'll be rated low? Like, do you not care? Did you want to create
It has
children
nothing
who are
to do
lighter and
with
inferior?
inferiority. This has, again, you are deflecting. You are changing the issue. This has nothing to do with creating inferior light-skinned people. And producing a light-skinned child would not necessarily come as a result of a dark-skinned person getting with a light-skinned person. The child could be brown, dark, or light. But the point that I'm making is that this has absolutely nothing to do with trying to make someone feel inferior. Okay, to get back to the Melody's preference issue. Preference in the United States is artificial among Black people. That's why we're having this whole conversation, because the preference has been constructed through racism, through popular culture, through the media. There is a book that everybody should go and read. It is called Manufacturing Consent, written by Noam Chomsky. Okay. Yeah, he white, but I don't give a damn. I'll read anybody's book. I don't care what color you are. I like to understand different intellectual perspectives. But the reason I'm telling y'all to read that book, because the one thing that I picked up from that book and I began to understand about America is America doesn't just do this with Black folks. America goes around the world using in manufacturing consent, for example. We talked about how the third world countries, they don't use the media. They use brute force to get people to do what they want to do. America doesn't do that. America uses the tool called the media to control, and now we got social media, to control the minds of the people and construct the preference. That's what's going on. I don't understand how Black people could sleep at night calling dark-skinned women ugly or having a bad attitude or saying things like, well, this person is going to have their, without considering the artificialness of that preference under the social constructs of American born and bred racism. I don't understand, y'all.
Aren't you basically saying that your issue is that dark-skinned Black women with phenotypically Black features and hair and whatnot are being rated as inferior to their own kind when they shouldn't be? Because that's, in essence, that's what I hear you saying. So if you're not saying that it is all about inferiority versus superiority, where there's an apex and you want dark-skinned Black women to be at the apex, at least for Black folk, and they're not, and that's your issue, then I don't know, maybe I'm misunderstanding.
Dark-skinned women, it follows logically. If the majority of people in Africa are Black, dark skinned, and it's like a billion plus folks over there, then why would you put a non-dark skinned person as the epitome or the standard of beauty? That makes no sense. It makes no sense. That's what I'm saying. What we got to do is come out of the mindset of being a Black American. I wish the Chinese, I believe, they used to have these camps. Somebody can in the chat that maybe know about this, re-education camps. I kind of wish that Black people would do the same damn thing, because we're so brainwashed. It's like I'm talking to, like, I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm just saying, because of the brainwashing that we encounter from the moment we are born, and we're forced to go to these schools, we cannot understand any other perspective. It's hard for us to understand it because we have been I'm not brainwashed. I don't subscribe to the one drop rule. I don't believe that one drop of blood makes you. Barack Obama is not a black man. Halle Berry is not black. I'm not insulting them. I'm telling the truth. I'm not going to allow people that came and murdered millions of Indians, enslaved, millions of Africans. I'm not going to allow them to determine how I think based upon their laws that they were making for their own selfish purposes.
But not all light-skinned people are one drop. Not all light-skinned people are one drop. I'm 78% African, right? So I'm not one drop of black, and therefore I should be considered black. No, I'm 80%.
What I'm saying to you is this. Let me be clear. If a person has a black parent and a non-black parent, that person to me is not black. That is not an insult. I don't understand why people think that's an insult. I'm not being rude. I'm just stating the facts.
Well, I think I think people have an issue when you make that assumption based on their skin tone or their phenotype.
No, I'm not making the assumption. I just said if the person let's go back to Barack Obama. I pointed out people that clearly have one non-black parent and one black parent. Barack Obama is an example. He's not black. Does that take away from his accomplishments? Absolutely not. But does that give him light skin privilege? Absolutely it does. Halle Berry. She's not a black woman. Black mother, white mother, black father. That's not an insult to her. I'm telling, why are people angry with the truth? That's another thing about black folks. We get angry, or people that are deemed to be black folks. We're angry at the truth. Don't be mad.
Deemed to be black folks. You did it again. Okay, listen. I can't with you right now. Let's try to get some more of these super chats going. I think Melody, you're up next.
Okay, Game Changer. Thanks for the $5 super chat. He says, chocolates? Oh, I know what he's talking about.
Oh, do you?
He always say Rasheeda got the big chocolate.
Okay, let me say, Game Changer used to be my voice crush. I'm not gonna lie, because he got this nice voice that I don't know how you look in person. You do have a nice voice, but I am married. I'm happily married to a very handsome, good-looking black man. So I can't be up here flirting with Game Changer.
Okay, so black men can be black when they're light skinned, but light skinned women can't. Okay, I get it. No, I know that's not what you're saying. I know. I'm kidding. Okay, Bronze Bird.
I know. That's
why I said I'm kidding. Rasheeda, I'm kidding.
Two black parents wasn't black.
I'm kidding. Okay, Bronze Bird, $5. Thank you very much, sir. And he said, all my life I had to fight you light skinned, and I'm dark skinned, and I'm so oppressed.
Oh.
That's how he said it.
Okay, clarify that, please.
All right. So, Blaze, the trademark, thanks for the $5 super chat. Violins. He says, you're playing the violins, Rasheeda. Come on, what's up with that? Playing with them.
I'm playing with his what?
You said you're playing the violins, like the Sad Story violin, World's Tiniest Violin. That's pretty much what he's saying. You know how they are. Okay, Game Changer, 0100, $5. Thank you very much, sir. And he says they are not hitting the like button because they are light skinned.
Yes, hit the like button, guys. It's good for the algorithm. Hit it.
I think this is my issue, and this is what it comes down to, right? Is I think that some people, I think overall, when they hear you speak, people like myself, when I first heard you speak, I did not have an issue with anything you said regarding some of the issues that dark-skinned women specifically go through. I just had an issue, like I said, that it seems as though while you are speaking about the issues of dark-skinned women and their struggles, you also add in invalidating the struggles or identity or issues of light-skinned women. And I just kind of feel like as women, maybe we need to be a little bit more universally understanding in the fact that black women on this continent have issues. Colorism affects us all negatively, just in different ways. And unfortunately, some of the ways that it affects light-skinned women, like from being ostracized from the group of women and whatnot, I feel dark-skinned women don't value enough because they don't value dark-skinned women enough. Otherwise, they would understand how deeply impactful it can be to desperately want to be friends with black women because you're black too, but they ostracize you or put you down or whatever because you're light skinned or because of phenotype type things that you have no control over. So that's my major issue. I will say in a nutshell. I don't actually have an issue. Like, I believe colorism does negatively affect dark skinned women. I know, I've seen it. I look like my mother, only I'm light skinned. That's the only difference between us. And
Mhm.
people have come to me and said, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful. You don't look nothing like your mom." And I'm like, "I look exactly like her." And they've had to go back and look at her and be like, "Oh, you do look exactly like her. I didn't even realize," because they were just looking at her skin tone. But to be fair, and here's an important point, is the only people who have ever done that ever are old school black women. I've never heard a black man say that ever. I'm being real. Never heard a black man say it. So I'm not sure. And again, I am from somewhere else, right? So we have to be fair. I'm Jamaican Canadian. But I've never heard a black man say it. Black men always tell me how gorgeous my mother is. Again, we got Jay Shine in the chat. Trust me. He's never told me how gorgeous I was, but he makes sure to tell me how gorgeous my mother is often. Um,
Right. So, yeah, but just know that you're not alone, Rashida. I mean, we go through the same thing you go through. We're all black women at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Even me growing up, I had a dark skinned woman put Nair in my hair. Okay. I suffered a lot from darker skinned women. So you're not the only one going through it. You know what I mean?
mhm.
So
Let me just address something that Ruby said. I
Mhm.
wanted to find out from you, how am I invalidating light skinned women by speaking on darkism?
It's not about, again, like I said, you speaking on darkism as in issues that disenfranchise dark skinned women, like for example, just saying, well, she's ugly because she's dark skinned, or she's ugly because she's got 4C hair, right? No, that's not the issue. And that's never been my issue with anything that you said. But then throughout
Oh
what you've
man, yeah.
even been
Y'all know
saying
what?
tonight,
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I gotta get off of here because I'm just gonna tell the truth. My light skinned husband just called me.
let's see the light
oh,
skin husband. No, I'm happy. Listen. At the end of the day, at least we know Rasheeda has her priorities right when it comes
And
to
I
taking care of
did do an
husband at
hour.
home.
I did give y'all an hour as
You
I
did.
promised.
you
You
did. Thank
did.
you. We really
No, and
appreciate
we
you for coming through,
appreciate you.
Rashida.
So
So
we need to continue this conversation because
Yes,
yes,
yes.
I
let's
want some explanations and some answers
Girl,
to
yes,
some
trust
of
let's
the
me.
have
I'm
a
subjects.
coming
part
with them
two.
next time. Part two. Part two, I'm
Definitely.
coming.
We'll have a part
Part
two
two.
pretty soon. But thanks for coming, Rashida. You know I love you.
I love
Um,
you back.
you know what I got she gave me her books in person. You know, we met in person. We're actually friends in real life. But she already knows
Okay.
that I don't agree with all of her talking points. But that's
Right.
okay. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But thank you so much. I
Thank
really
Bye,
you.
appreciate you.
y'all. Have a
Bye.
good
Appreciate you,
evening.
girl. All right, so let's get through the super chats then, and I guess we'll also open the panel. What you think?
Yeah, let's open the panel.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get through these super chats first. So Dane C, thank you for the $2 super chat. He says, Melody, Ruby, Rube, and Rashida. What's up, ladies? Hey.
Hey, Dane. Thank
Hi.
you. All right. And we got Shaka Nulu for 4.99. I hope I said that right. I always wondered how to say your name. Now how to say it out loud. My bad if I said it wrong. But he says her husband light skin. He not black either. And that's my point. I'm just saying.
Right.
Uh,
Like, like, how could she say that? Like, she's oh, the black women who's light skinned, they're not black. But yeah, my man is a light skinned black man. That don't make any sense, Rashida.
right? And see, like right here, you have Aaron B saying she's so happy that a light skinned man wants her. That's why she said my light skinned husband. And I agree. I do think that part of the issue with Rashida has a lot to do with an internalized level of insecurity. And like it's like when we and all women do this. I'm going to be real with y'all. I've said this before with the paper doll test, right? So black girls in on this continent, right? When we go to school when we're 4 years old, we think that we're beautiful, right? All little girls think they're beautiful. But by the time we're 8 years old, the little doll we think looks beautiful looks nothing like us. The one that looks like us is the one we think is the ugliest, right? And
Mhm.
I think that she thinks that she hasn't internalized that. And I think that she has deeply internalized it and has deeply brainwashed her. And it's just coming out in different ways than what she thinks, is happening with the rest of society. And this is why she doesn't mean to. She's not trying to do it, but that giggle tone in her voice when she's like, my light skinned husband. I don't think she thinks she's doing it. I think she needs to rewatch the tape and see herself do it to recognize that the fact that she said the word light skin before her husband changed the whole look of her face. Like she was so proud she could get her a light skinned man, because I think she's the one who actually holds light skin up there. She's the one who's holding it up really, really high, and that's why she's looking confirmation bias. She's looking out there and seeing evidence that supports her opinion that light skin is actually superior to her. And so any attachment she can have to light skin makes her feel a little bit more superior. Or a light skinned man picking her versus a light skinned girl makes her feel superior. If a dark skinned man had picked her, it would not give her the same level of, yeah, that's right, I got picked. Yeah, right? So I mean, I think that's really what it is. But we're gonna have to hit the
Well,
part 2 and ask her some of these harder
listen,
hitting questions.
I think she know exactly what she's doing, and she's just doing it to tease everybody. Oh, my light-skinned boyfriend, I'm married to a light-skinned black man. She's just trying to throw it in everybody's face because she feels no one really likes dark-skinned women. So now that she's picked, she's
Mm-hmm.
like throwing it in everybody's face. So I feel the opposite of what you feel. Definitely.
Mm. All
Hi,
right.
game changer.
Hey, game changer.
Hey, ladies, how you doing?
Not too shabby. So, what do you have to say after listening to our little 1 hour segment there?
Well, I want to compliment the intro, and I also want to say
Thank
something
you.
about. Are you welcome? I want to say something about the paper doll test. As I
Mm-hmm.
understand it, the paper doll test is taken when they're 4, and some of the kids, some of the dark skinned kids included, pick the lighter baby, even when there's a white baby there. When the question is which is the prettier baby, and then they ask questions like which one is less likely to commit a crime, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they pick the white baby.
So
So
that actually is, they take the paper doll test is repeated multiple times. It's repeated. It started before you actually go to school, in the 2nd grade, and then like the 5th grade, and so the results change
GC, I'm
radically
sorry,
from
GC,
early
mute up.
ages.
Can you mute up? Because there's an echo when you talk. There's a lot of feedback.
Hmm.
Well, when Ruby talks. Okay.
But yeah, so there's a radical change. What happens when the 3 to 5 year olds are tested is they tend to pick dolls that look like themselves. The doll that looks like themselves is the most beautiful. The one that looks like themselves is the good one, and so on and so forth. And then when you get to late childhood, middle to late childhood, especially late childhood, is when you see a radical change, whereas in everyone is picking the white doll. And that's what you see here on this continent, right? America, Canada, generally in the Western world.
so
Um,
that's what. So then, what Rashida Strober is saying is right. It's a social construct because the social affects take time to register. Kids need to start
yes.
watching TV and things like that. So she has a legitimate gripe. She has a legitimate gripe
Hmm.
um, from what you say, from your own evidence. So why are you doubting her?
I'm not. I literally said that. I think she does have a legitimate gripe when it comes to what she's saying about dark-skinned women specifically and issues darkism. I think she does have a legitimate gripe. I don't think it's legitimate for her to then come at light-skinned women as a result. That's what it comes down to. So invalidating light-skinned women or blaming light-skinned women is not really the way to go. Like little girls are little girls, and all little girls, like these light-skinned women who are apparently the height of beauty or whatever, no, they're still picking the white doll. They're not picking the doll that's light-skinned. They're not
No,
picking the
but
white. They still suffer from the exact same inferiority complex, because what dark-skinned women don't understand, because they can't relate to it necessarily, right, is that the world treats us like we're black girls. They're not treating us like we're
no,
special because
no,
we're light
no,
skinned.
no. So I don't think you understand what's at play here. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there needs to be some penis parceling going on. There needs to
Somewhat.
be some penis parceling going on.
Okay.
There needs to be that.
I don't know why.
Basically, I mean, you as a light skinned women have access to more penis. Let's be clear.
Whoa,
Then
can you
Oh,
mute up, please?
excuse, you gotta mute up. Thank you.
Sorry, go ahead.
than some darker skinned women. All she's saying is that of the penis that you have available, you take the top 3, leave them for dark skinned women and keep the fourth one for yourself. That's what she's saying. And I think that
No.
that is a reasonable request, seeing that you are the daughter of a dark skinned woman.
Listen,
I see nothing wrong with what she's requesting. Every
because what
now and
she's
again
requesting,
you say no to a decent penis.
no, that's first of all because it's factually incorrect. Because my mother, who's a beautiful dark skinned woman, very dark skinned, she actually got a little lighter now that she's in middle age. But
And if the
uh,
light skinned woman had not have parceled out penis, you wouldn't be here.
no, but my point is this: the dark skinned woman, my mother, is a select woman, as in she's never had any of these issues. Okay, whether it's an American men flocking to beg to try to marry her and waiting, whether it's sports stars, whether it's multimillionaires, my mother has always been a select woman. So her dark skinnedness is not the thing that, or someone else's light skinnedness was not the thing. She wasn't competing against light skinned women or whatever. My mother was competing with herself. She was the best her she could be. She's a beautiful woman. She carried herself right. She acts right. She speaks right. Right. She treats men right. Men feel amazing with her on their arm. And so she was select. People wanted to choose her. Right. And it didn't matter that there was a light skinned woman next to her or not. The light skinned woman was inferior. That's the way my mother saw things. That's the way she moved through life. And that's the way people treated her as a result. It's not because light skinned women left something behind for her
Okay.
at all.
Exactly. And
Okay.
at the
However,
body,
you should leave something behind for others. Like, okay, so not every dark skinned woman has it like your mother. Meaning that you need to, you need to tell these brothers, you need to tell, like, listen,
oh my God.
you can't hit this until you let Gabrielle Sidibe hit it first.
Which,
Is basically what
What?
you need to
Oh my God.
I
you
can't
need
with
to
you.
contribute. You
I
need to
Chewy.
can't
contribute.
win.
You need
You know,
to contribute some
my bad,
penis.
game changer. What's good, boss?
What's good? You need Ruby. You need to
Man,
contribute
I've
some
been
penis.
listening to you for a minute, dog. I ain't mean to chime in on you. Get your shit off, dog. And when I can speak, let me know.
All
I
right.
ain't trying to cut y'all off, man.
Okay. So yeah, Ruby, you need to contribute.
I ain't trying to Will Smith it. Like, oh,
Uh-oh. GC,
We
we can't
can't
hear
hear
you
you,
anymore.
GC. GC, you there?
I said what?
Well, okay, why don't you go ahead for now until we get GC's sound fixed. I don't know what
Oh,
happened to him.
you know
He's
what?
trolling like a MF, I know, right?
Yeah. What's your name? Melody again?
No, I'm Melody. Black
I'm
and
Oh,
white
Ruby.
picture.
yeah, my bad. This is my first time getting on your show, man. I mean, I'm subscribed to a lot of people. I just listen to y'all opinions, whether I care
Mhm.
about them or not. And I mean, I'm gonna be honest, man. I mean, man, Rasheeda Strober is fine. I
That's what
find,
we
Gorgeous.
said.
yo,
We're trying to tell her
yo,
how
man,
pretty she is.
I'm just being honest.
No.
If you saw me in the chat room, I was bigging her up, but then I
Yeah.
started coming out. Then I started getting.
Can
But
you
you
hear me?
still are crazy.
You have went out a little bit.
Yeah.
Me?
Yes.
All right, hold on. Am I speaking now?
Yeah, we can hear you
Yeah,
fine
we hear
now.
you
All right,
now.
I gotta be careful. I gotta focus my chi. You know what I mean? I gotta take the weighted clothing off so I can move at my maximum speed. But anyways, yeah, I mean, I was telling Rasheeda Strober in the chat room. I mean, you was reading the super chats, not giving it
Hmm.
up. I mean, Rasheeda Strober, if you ask me personally, I think she's a fine black woman. She's a
Hmm.
fine dark-skinned black woman, but
Absolutely.
Yeah.
she's also a hypocrite
Yeah.
because of
Hmm.
she's a. I mean, and I can't. I'm not going. I'm not one of those dudes that's going to sit in the background and big her up just for her being her. Because I'm like, hey, I might, you might, and I'm not one of them dudes because if I don't like you, I'm gonna say you're ugly. Because there are a lot of people that's going to discredit you just because they don't like you.
Well, let's ask you a question, right? So, because the first thing I said too, like we both, me and Melody, when she came on, we're like, "Oh my God, girl, you look gorgeous." Like
Yes,
we
yes,
both said
yes.
it as soon as she came on. So let me ask you a question, because she said earlier, right, that her going
I
hard,
came
her.
in a little late. I
Okay,
came in
well,
a
I'm gonna
little
tell
late.
you.
I
I'm
probably
gonna tell
listened to
you,
the
Jay.
last 25 minutes.
Okay. So let me tell you then, Jay. So she said earlier, right, that her going hard, or being disrespectful, the way she talks, the way she thinks, none of that has to do with the way black men perceive her. So let me ask you that question then. Did that change things for you?
All right. Well, you heard how she kept undermining the fact of her attitude. That's the one thing she kept bringing up and tried to write off is her attitude. And that is the number one problem with black women, their attitude. Because black women are some of the most beautiful women in the world when they're fit and feminine. You know, there's some African women out there that rock the nappy froze and they're beautiful as hell. And Rasheeda Strober can be in the top 10 to the top 10 of these broads. She is beautiful. She got some clear skin, is brown, is dark brown, or what? I can't say black because she's not actual black, because the black is the absence of color.
Right. Well, she's dark skin. I mean,
brown.
That's the perfect way to say it. She's dark skin.
Yes. So what I'm trying to say is she's a beautiful woman, but she hates herself. And she contradicts herself by the choice of mate she chose. Like all this dark skin activism, and you decided to get married by a black man, a light skinned man, and more power to her. But you can't keep preaching this. You can't keep talking this rhetoric while you are you're playing both sides of the fence. You want to be a dark skin activist, but if she could get a white man, I bet you she would.
No, she don't like white men. But go ahead, GP.
You got to understand that it's punishment. It's punishment to dark-skinned men for not choosing her first, for choosing Ruby and Melody first. As a punishment, now see, it don't feel good. It don't feel good being picked by a lighter-skinned person over a darker-skinned person. So this is her way of saying, now a taste of your own medicine.
GC. At the end of the day, us men, we don't care what they do. They care what we do.
This is true, but you mentioning her light-skinned husband.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I only mentioned it because she's contradicting herself. I mean, I don't have Indian. I don't have white. I don't have redheads. I don't have dark heads. I got classifications for the broads that I had. And yeah. I thought you were saying something. Yeah, I don't have classifications for everything that I've done. And I've not one time got angered or felt belittled by the choice that a black woman chose or the rhetoric that they say. I listen to everybody, and I don't troll. If I don't like your video, I'm not going to hit the like button. I'm not going to hit the dislike button. I'm just going to sit there in the clouds and listen and take this information in. And Rasheeda, and I don't chimed in on Rasheeda Strober's joints, and she don't left hearts like that. I love that chocolate. You know what I mean? And for her, I mean, I'm a little upset. You could say I'm jealous. You really, because I like that chocolate because it's in my DNA to love it. Just like a white man loves a white woman, it's in his DNA. And it's in my DNA to love black women. Now, only problem is the attitude that comes with it.
Oh, true. Now, hold on. Before I continue on that, I just want to hold on. Give me 1 second.
Well, right quick, Ruby, if I may, please.
I'm not going to address him. I just want to address this comment really fast. So Mr. Carbon Master says nobody wants to join y'all retarded light-skinned crybaby colorist cult. Okay, so Mr. Carbon Master, why don't you come on up, hit that link, and say it to our face, and then explain.
Hey.
Thank you. Okay.
So, Jay, let me ask you this.
Yo.
Who would you do, Ruby or Rasheeda?
Rasheeda. Wait. Hold on. I said Rasheeda based off of looks. If you're talking about attitude, I'm like, hell nah, nigga.
But women like Rasheeda have this perception. They have this perception that all black men would pick the light-skinned woman. And it's not true. It's absolutely not true. I
love dark-skinned women, man. I love dark-skinned.
I've had black men, honestly, by and large, black men like me the best when in my young years.
It ain't no different from a white man that wouldn't touch a black woman, or
hold
a
on, hear
white
me out.
woman that wouldn't touch a black man.
Hold on, hear me out.
It's
right?
just in your DNA.
Okay, so hear me out. So the black men, right, in general, the ones that like me the best really like the exotical kind of look. And so when I had a weave, right, and I looked a lot like Aaliyah or exotic in general, then I was more select. But I will say this, that if you were just going with beauty, just looking at general, objective beauty of face and body.
Rasheeda all day. Rasheeda all day.
Right.
Rasheeda all day.
I'm not asking you. I'm just
Rasheeda
saying.
all day. If it was just beauty, I would pick Rasheeda all day.
Right.
No lie.
So here,
I'm
let
not
me
even
finish,
just saying
Jay.
that to say it, man. I
Jay.
find her very attractive. One of my first girlfriends was dark skin. I had quite a few dark skinned girlfriends. More dark skinned girlfriends. If I had to tally them all up, I had an Indian chick. I had a couple white chicks. I had more dark skinned chicks than any other ethnicity out here.
Jay, you gotta let me finish my point first. Sweetie, please let me make my point, and then by all means, okay.
And happy belated birthday.
Okay, just give me a second.
Me? Thank you.
So now,
Melody, mom birthday.
I'm Melody.
Yeah, it's Melody.
Oh, damn, my bad. My bad. I forgot because you're not dark skinned.
See, there you go. Very forgettable. No, but for real, my experience actually was.
That was a joke.
My overall experience has always been, and I said it earlier, and Rasheeda didn't want to address it, but my overall experience has always been that if you take an objectively beautiful dark-skinned woman and an objectively beautiful light-skinned woman, and you put them side by side, generally, this is my experience, the black man will choose the objectively, if all other things are equal, the black man will choose the objectively dark-skinned, beautiful woman, right? And the woman will choose a light-skinned woman. And that's always been the problem. We don't realize how much we perpetuate the culture ourselves as women, and we keep choosing light skin first. We keep upholding light skin first, but black men aren't necessarily doing that. That hasn't been my life experience.
So do you think Rasheeda wants to be light skinned on the low?
Yeah, I do.
She hates her.
So she grew up hating her dark skin and her. She always say my dark skin and my nappy hair. Like
look how she got off the phone. My light skinned husband is here.
Right.
I gotta get off. She could have just said, "My man is here." If my chick rolled up in here, I wouldn't tell you her ethnicity. I would just tell you my bitch is here, and I'm about to get off.
Right, but she does that to tease people. Yeah, language. But she does that just to like tease people, like, I'm a dark skinned woman with a light skinned man.
Yeah,
like I can get,
while she's screaming black activism.
Right, exactly.
That's a hypocrite. That's a fucking hypocrite. I hate hypocrites.
And that's why I called her out on it, but she never gives a clear answer. And I noticed on a lot of people's platforms, she never give a direct answer. She always skip over that.
Yeah, well, the people that run from lies never are afraid of the truth.
Yeah, I think, I think there's a couple things like we really need to get to the bottom of, because I don't understand why it's okay for her to use the most denigrating and insulting of dark-skinned references to reference other dark-skinned women, whether she likes them or not. How dare you use that type of terminology? In culture
right now. As black people,
it's better to complete, like, Ruby, things that directly address Rasheeda. Y'all probably want to do like the second show on that to save the talking. But I do want to address Jay. Jay, do you feel that what you are doing is lightism?
Am I what I'm doing is lightism, you say?
Lightism, yes.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Lightism is your preference of Rasheeda over Ruby.
You gotta understand, dude.
Right quick, you said it's for physical reasons, and you said that because she is darker. So I think that, there is a there that you have a case of lightism, sir.
Oh my God. So you want to flip me being dark skinned over, dude, I love all women.
But
I love all women. We all got a preference. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna bang the next chick. That just means if I had to choose, if I had a choice, and if she was compliant. See, the one thing I know about my choice is I would choose. I would have chose. Oh, my bad. My bad, dog. Finish. Go ahead, man.
No, if you had a choice between the two, you would choose the darker one. You would choose.
No, we were talking about the people on the panel. Let's keep it where let's
Yeah,
keep it funky.
I said Ruby and Rasheeda. Not only did you say
Yes.
you would choose
And then
Rasheeda,
I told and then
you said that
I
she's
gave an
more
answer.
beautiful.
And I gave an answer. And I gave an answer. And then I pulled my
Well,
answer back. Yo,
did you? Did you? Well, let me ask you this. Did you? Hold on. No, no. Let me ask you this. Let me
One
ask you
second,
this.
please. Let me finish.
Go ahead. Go
Before I
ahead.
lose my train of thought.
Go
Before I
ahead.
lose my train of thought. Now we chose. I said I started to say I said Rasheeda, and then I pulled my answer back because I brought attitude into the equation. And then y'all took attitude out of the equation. And then I picked Rasheeda. I would have took as you put attitude into the equation. Then I'm like, hell no, I ain't fucking Rasheeda. Hey, fuck that. After I heard after everything I heard.
Wait, hold on.
Jay.
Let me get it
Wait,
out,
wait,
guys.
no, Melody,
Let me
hold
get
on.
out what I was trying to say.
Jay, you need to please watch your language. We need to keep everything family friendly so we don't get
All right,
demonetized, okay?
my bad.
Thank
I
you.
ain't know this is the CW23 TVY7. You know, I'm
Now
waiting for
you
Brian to
know.
start speaking. Yeah, I
This,
love you and all that.
this is
Go ahead.
prime time,
Okay,
sir. It's not
so
late night. Go ahead.
did you choose Did you choose Rasheeda because of her looks or because she's dark skinned over Ruby?
I choose her because of her looks and her dark skin. It's in
Okay,
my
so if she
DNA.
was
I mean, I'm a black man, and
so
see,
if
we
she
are.
was light
It's
skinned.
no. I'm no different than a white man that is lusting over Jennifer Aniston because as a white man, that is the perfect bitch for Jennifer Aniston from Friends. Excuse my language. Jennifer Aniston. That's like the archetype for a white man, or Cameron Diaz, or Jessica Alba, or Jessica Biel, or what's that other chick that played the Invisible Woman and Fantastic?
Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba, yeah, that's the white man's chick. So that's the type of chick he's after. And me, I'm like Viola Davis, Lupita Nyong'o, motherfucking man. I love dark skinned women. I had a couple of dark skinned women in my life.
Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? See, this is lightism. This is lightism.
Lightism. What is lightism? Because I don't.
I can't
Hey,
with you.
no, see,
Jessica Alba's light as hell.
what you fail to
No,
And
realize is
biracial.
No. His preference for Viola Davis is lightism. You only prefer her from dark because she's dark.
no, man. It just turned me on.
What else do she got? What else do Viola Davis
What is your favorite food, dude? And would you call it a tomatoism because you like tomatoes, or because I like bacon? I'm gonna call it baconism,
No.
or hamburgerism, or medium rare steakism because you got a favorite food, or because you're not a vegetarian, you're a meatism.
Anybody who is physically attracted to Viola Davis has an issue of some sort.
Yeah, Viola Davis is not an ugly chick, dude.
Yours
She
is
man, Viola Davis get it.
because she has dark skin, sir.
Man, I'm talking about Viola Davis in Law Abiding Citizen when she was wearing that tight joint with the shoulder pads and shit.
She was
nigga.
never attractive a day in her life. You telling
she had
me
a little business suit on.
So answer me this. You telling me that you would pick Viola Davis over Jessica Alba?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Okay, so
no, I'm saying I wouldn't. I'm not saying I would pick a certain bitch over a bitch. I said you asking me what I prefer. I'm giving you renditions. Like, just think of it like a timeline. I got Lupita Nyong'o. I can't pronounce her name right now, but Lupita Nyong'o would be the fresh off the assembly line version, right? And then if I knew she would grow into a Viola Davis, she ain't bad for a 50-year-old. She ain't bad for a 50-plus-year-old. If I knew that I got me a 20-something and she would grow to still look that good, I'm not saying I would choose her today. You got to understand these women are going to get old, and then you got to if you're going to stick with this woman, you got to understand what is she going to look like 20, 30 years from now.
Okay, here's what I'm getting at. At any stage in life, if you ever pick Viola Davis, it's because
I wouldn't pick her now.
No,
damn. I mean, if I knew if my chick was great, aged gracefully like that, that would be awesome.
Life, on her 18th birthday, when she blew out the candle, some snot came out of her nose. Okay, she has been unattractive since day one, since the moment she became
Snot
legal.
come out of her nose. Dude, have you ever been with a chick that you've been with that y'all act all prissy around the first date, and then like 3 months later y'all start farting around each other?
What
Yeah,
the
yeah,
hell?
yeah. This shit normal. Like, come on, man.
That's not
Yeah,
normal.
yeah, yeah. You
Not
ain't
only
never
are
been
you
in a
attracted to
relationship.
Viola Davis, you like to smell her farts. You see, here's the thing, and this is what colorism does
Nah,
to people.
nigga. I ain't
No,
saying I like to
it's
smell
not.
it
No,
first,
no.
but
What I'm
it's
saying,
things
what I'm
that you
saying
don't
is
do on
that
the
you
first
are
date that
going,
become common after the fact. Like
you are
after a
going.
few months, y'all like, man, y'all
Nah,
comfortable with each other. Y'all doing things that y'all didn't do on the first date.
no, I get it. I get what you're saying, but what I'm
I'm
saying,
just saying.
I get what you're saying, brother. What I'm
Yeah, I mean,
saying
yeah,
is that
if she came out the gate like
what
that,
I'm
then like
saying,
hell no. I
what
mean,
I
yeah, I mean, ain't
suspect.
nothing
Hold
wrong
on,
with a
hold on,
pump
Jay.
and
Hold on,
dump.
Jay. Let me talk. What I
All right.
suspect is that they are guilting penis out of you. That's what I'm
Yeah,
suspecting.
guilty what?
They are guilting penis out of you. They are making you feel guilty for being attracted to Jessica Alba and stuff like that. So much so
Nah, see,
that
you gotta
you
understand.
that you throw in Viola Davis in order to say, I like dark skinned women. Look, I like
Nah,
Viola Davis. Viola Davis is not an attractive woman. She should not be on the list of who would I.
nah, see, the thing about it is Viola Davis is attractive for her age. I'm not saying I would date Viola Davis as a young man. I'm saying it when your woman when your woman age gracefully, you will if you will be lucky if you had a black woman that looked as good as she did at her age. Most niggas don't get that. Most
Okay, can I
niggas
ask a
get
question?
most niggas get what Eddie Murphy had in Boomerang.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Jay. Okay.
Yeah,
If there were
get
literal
that
twins, they were
crazy.
identical. Hear me out. Okay. So you had these two women. They were identical in every way. Their features, their
And then you
hair.
ain't even letting me fully answer the question
Sir,
because
you've
I
been
like
speaking
all
for
women.
like 30
I
minutes
don't had
almost
white
straight.
women.
This is, sir, you
All right,
gotta let me. Hey, listen, this is
all
our
right, all
show,
right,
right?
all
You
right.
gotta let
She
us
call
ask
me
a
sir.
question
She
here
call
and
me
there,
sir.
okay?
She
I
call me
can't
sir.
even get a
Be
word in.
quiet.
Like I'm sitting
I
here
apologize.
like,
Let us
I
just
apologize.
try.
I
Let's try to run the show, please. Okay,
apologize.
so now
All
let me
right.
ask the question, okay? So if you had two women,
Yes.
absolutely identical in every way possible, okay? Their features, their hair, everything is identical. The only difference between these two women is that one is very dark skinned, one is light skinned. Which one would you choose?
And I can only go off of looks.
Yeah, but they look exactly the same.
That's not even
Exactly.
fair because
No,
you gotta. There's other variables there because it can be a light skinned bitch with a bad attitude.
okay. They're exactly the same. Attitude, everything. Everything, their skills, their
All
age,
right. Well,
everything is exactly
if
the same.
and this is just a one nighter.
No, this is a woman you're choosing. So you can choose her. And the only difference between these two
Man,
women, one's light skinned, one's dark skinned. Otherwise, they are
I know what
exactly
y'all
the same.
doing, and I'm gonna play y'all game.
Okay.
And you know what? A one nighter. Okay, I'll tell you what. You know what? To be honest,
Hmm.
I'm gonna have something extravagant, something that because as a black man, I spent a half of my life dealing with black women. So in the long game, I would want to do something I haven't done on a regular basis. So yeah, I will pick the light skinned woman. You're right. I would pick the white woman. I would pick the Asian woman because I had plenty of black women already.
Okay. And so that was for a
So
one
yeah, I
nighter.
give you that. But if I had to choose and I wanted to spend my rest of my life with somebody, and if it was conducive to my survival and it would fucking better my everything that I got going on, then I would rather have a dark skinned woman. But at what you're saying, the question that you're answering me, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you be better off saying a Chinese woman. Like, yeah, I never had one of those. I'd pick a Chinese woman in a heartbeat.
Well, actually, I think you made exactly a point I was going to make to Rasheeda if we had
Yeah,
had more
because I mean,
time.
I've been around black women so long that there's nothing more that they can show me that I haven't seen.
Yes, okay, I hear you. Right, but the point I was going to make to Rasheeda was this. A lot of dark skinned women are envying being this like exotical sex symbol, and they don't understand that it's like, well, being select just to, have sex with is not necessarily what you want. You want to be selected to be a wife, right? Or and a
Yes,
mother, and to
exactly.
be respected and cherished. You don't just want to
Trust me,
be
I've been
held
there.
up as a sex symbol or as a symbol of beauty alone, because that means men are going to pursue you to want to sleep with you, not
Mhm.
necessarily pursue you to marry you. And I don't think that some of the women who are like the colorist activists and stuff, I don't think they
I don't.
necessarily understand the
I
difference.
can't. I can't do the colorist activist. You know, Rasheeda Strawberry. She's a handful. She's a beautiful woman, but I don't see how her husband even puts up with that shit. I'm so sorry for that, brother. You know what I mean? But go ahead. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No, it's okay. It's absolutely okay. I think that it just comes down to she's probably not like that with her husband. I know. Every
Of course
time
not.
a
Of
woman
course.
says that, men go, "Oh my God, what are you talking about? If you're like this in public, you're like that in private." But that's not necessarily true, right? Because, like, for example, me being here, I am not, in submission to anybody here. I'm in submission to my husband. Therefore, our relationship is going
Congratulations.
to be thank you, is going to be necessarily different than it is with, a random guy I'm speaking to on a panel I'm running, right? So I do think that for, to judge her and say, well, that's how she is inside her household, I highly doubt that's how she is in her household. I think that the way that she smiles and
Tommy
glows when his
Sotomayor got
name
some
comes
good.
up, no, the way she glows and smiles, the way when his name comes up, and how
And
she's
she
got to
took
go
that
when
nigga
he
to court
calls,
and
when she's
lost.
got to go when he calls like that, no, she's not sitting there a big handful at home. I bet you she's not. Any money, I bet you
Oh
she's not.
hell no. I mean, if I was her husband, I wouldn't tolerate the shit. I mean, I'm surprised she got a husband, so she must be wearing the pants and paying the bills and something to be putting up with that buffoonery. As O'Shea would say. I
I
mean, oh
don't know.
hell.
See, but the thing is, though, I mean, even when I said, well, you chose a light skinned husband, she, fought
Yeah,
back about that right
I
away
wrote
and
in your chat
said,
room.
but
I
what
was in
she,
your chat.
do you remember what she said, though? What she
Yeah,
said
I
was,
heard that part. I heard that part.
right? So
I,
then,
I I I knew that before I got on this chat. I knew she married a light
right.
skinned dude.
But then did you
I've been
hear her?
I'm subscribed to her. Now
Right.
I
So,
subscribe to a lot of people that I
Jay,
don't agree with just to hear they
Jay,
bullshit.
Jay, did you hear her say when I said that? She said, "I didn't choose a light-skinned husband. I don't choose men. I don't chase men. Men chase me, and my husband chose me. I didn't choose him. He
That
chose
was her
me."
cop out.
That's what she said, right?
Yeah.
So now a woman who says that is inferring at least that she doesn't want the control. She didn't put the pants on. She was falling back and allowing a man to chase her and to take that control and to take that lead. That's what it's
But how many
suggesting.
men that were dark skinned that actually chased her that she refused? Women go through this shit every day. They got a lot of good men that will actually take care of them, but they rather get ran through the mud by some, Chad or Pookie versus getting the man that will actually take on your burdens and all your baggage. Or
Absolutely.
And that's the thing.
their baggage. Their
Wait,
baggage.
wait,
And that's
wait, 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 brother. Are you saying? Is that what you offering? Are you saying that
I ain't
because on that
offering
chat,
nothing, dude.
you're offering to take care of their baggage?
Nah,
You're
dog. I
offering.
ain't
Oh my
buying
god.
refrigerators and stoves like you.
No. What you just said
I'm not
is
buying appliances.
wait, right quick, right quick.
So I
What you
mean,
just said was
I ain't
what
doing
you
none of
said
that.
was
I ain't got
these
that in
you
me,
were
man. You a
complaining.
better
Hold on,
man
brother.
than me.
Hold on. What the hell
Jay,
you
you
talking
gotta let
about?
other
Shit,
people
no,
I
talk.
teach you
like
that.
no one can talk. Oh my
You
Like,
need to be
goodness.
humble.
you know what I
Hold
mean?
on. Let me finish.
Yo,
All
one
right,
at a
brother.
time, guys. Go ahead, GC.
Yeah. So basically, what you were saying was these women be out here messing with Chad and Pookie, and they need to mess with a man to put up with their shit. You know.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
there are men that will put up with their shit. They got an
That's like
inbox
the
full of them.
purpose. So you're saying that that's what you offer? That's what you feel that men should offer? The willingness to put up with their shit?
Nah, that's not what men should offer. A man should offer stability and a controlled household. But the problem is when you give them that, the men that offer that, they call toxic, they call narcissistic because you got a controlled environment. You're not a loose cannon and you're not allowing somebody to be a loose cannon.
You said that can handle their baggage. You're
Yeah, that
basically
can handle
saying
their baggage.
that is
We
putting
you
up
know
with
you
their
know what we
shit.
call those. You know what we call those, GC. Come on,
I
how long
don't.
have you been
I
in the
don't put up
space?
with
I've
a
been
woman's
listening.
crap.
This is the first time I talked to you, dude. This is the first, but I've listened to you plenty of times.
Okay.
Not, I've listened to
Thank
you
you.
enough. You know what I mean? I've been in the clouds. I just chimed in because Rasheeda Strobel was up here. Because I would have talked to her, but she was out of her fucking mind. And I saw the way she handled that conversation with y'all. I was like, damn, I know this was gonna go. I wasn't gonna get nowhere with her. You know what I mean? I'm actually like, damn, because I told you I find Rasheeda Strobel finer than a motherfucker. She the type of chocolate I like.
I do too, and I don't understand why she act like she's ugly.
And she act like
Like,
niggas, and she act like niggas like me.
did you
Don't like
ever
it.
see her Facebook and her post? Oh, I'm an ugly dark skinned woman. Oh, I never,
Man,
no man wants
she
me.
hate
And
herself.
I'm like, and I
I
know
find
a lot of guys want her. I know a lot of
man,
guys chase her because I met her in person and she's more beautiful in person.
man, she is fine. She just out
So,
of her goddamn mind.
right. So
Now
I'm
hold
just
on.
like,
Can we address this, Melody, really quick? So multiracial movement by light skinned saviors. Why don't you come up, hit that link, and say it to our face? That's what I'm saying. And you can come and you can elaborate because over here we do not believe in echo chambers. So by all means, come on up and speak your piece. If you feel like everyone here on this panel, light skinned saviors, even though Jay's literally saying the
Hey,
opposite,
hey,
but
hey,
cool,
hey.
then
I
come
love
up
light
and speak
skinned
your
women too.
piece.
I love all women. I love all women.
I know,
I
sir.
got a preference. But you know what? At the end of the day, I might not get what I want. I might have to settle for something else. You feel me? I might not get that dark skinned chocolate chick I want because they so overruly and masculine and shit. I might have to settle for a white girl. And then y'all gonna be mad at me when I do that. And post pictures all online with me going out to Six Flags and shit with her. Why? Because
nobody
I can't
cares who
deal with
you
the
date. I don't care if you with a white woman, a black woman, a yellow woman.
that's
Nobody really cares
but
about
there
who
will
you
be
date.
women that
Well, okay, let's let Young East say something. He's been up for a while, just staying quiet
and
because y'all didn't want to
happy
stand up
birthday,
today.
happy birthday, happy birthday, happy
You
birthday.
already said that.
Thank you.
I
I
know, I'm
appreciate
just trying to
it.
make conversation. I was trying to change
I
the subject.
appreciate you.
You
But real
caught me,
quick,
man. I
before
would
we
have gotten
move
away
on,
with it too, you meddling kids.
I need everybody in the chat to hit the like button. That's something you guys don't do. Hit the like button and share the stream,
Right? Get some
right?
free
But
appreciation and love. Thank you.
please, thank you so much. But let's get to Young East. What's on your mind, Young East?
What up? What up? What up? All right.
What up, though?
Yeah. Yeah. What's going on? In regards to Rasheeda Strover, right? I said this to you before, Melody. When black men choose light skinned women, they choose light skinned women based on the blackness of that light skinned women. They don't choose her because she's half white. They choose her because she's half black. Like, for instance, myself, when I see a light skinned woman, most of the time I'm analyzing on her body what's black about her. I'm not looking for what's white about her. Most niggas I know don't really like white girls as much as they like black girls. So I think I'm be honest. I think some of her is a little disingenuous. I think some of her arguments. Um, what you guys were saying to her that she only focuses on her own issue and not the community issue, that was a big point because she's acting like there's not other intersectional problems within the community and that her issue is the one that matters the most. That's bullshit. Black people, we have problems across the spectrum, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, black dudes calling each other nigga all day. The self hate is real. Now she's going through not even a unique self hatred, but it's self hatred. It's self hatred. So you got black men calling you out your color and all that, making you feel a type of way. That's just another struggle that we all got to struggle in this fight. So I think that's a problem. If she want us to care about her issue, then she need to care about everybody else's issue at the same time. All right. So that was a big problem I had.
I agree. I
and
agree wholeheartedly.
yeah, yeah, because it doesn't make any sense that she wants all this sympathy and all of this almost courtship from black men. She doesn't court black men like the dude said she married a light skinned nigga. Like, maybe like GC said, she was trying to stick it to black men that didn't choose her.
That's
I
still on.
guess, but huh?
No, go
My
ahead.
bad, boss. It's
Can
all
you hear me?
you.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So I had a major issue with that. There was something else I was gonna say. I just lost my train of thought. There was something else
Well,
I was gonna say.
while you're thinking about that, I'll say, and this is what I said to her in my issue too. Like, even if, right, the women who don't care about men's issues because they can't relate and understand, and they don't have any sons and they don't have a daddy, so they only care about women's issues, I have a slightly easier time understanding at least that, because you know, you care about your gender. So when the men care about men's issues, I get it because you're a man. But for her to like throw away all brown skinned women, light skinned women, right? It's just dark skinned women, and it's not just dark skinned women because she doesn't like all of them either, right? Because we got Crispy, as she calls her, right? And so it's like it's a very, very select group. It seems like she's you know, defending or, you know, wanting to speak up for it. And I'm like, I find that difficult because I'm like, how are we going to make things better when we're not even trying to speak for like a greater collective of some sort? How do you include it?
Exactly. All right, let me keep on going. From what I've seen, when I seen growing up, most of the colorism that she's talking about, I never seen light skinned girls making fun of dark skinned girls. I never seen that. Only thing I've seen is normally not light and dark people. It's usually the medium tone people. Like, for instance, like with Tariq Nasheed and Tommy Sotomayor, like when he calls him crispy, like that I've seen that a whole lot. And it's usually from the browner tone dudes or people. And the crazy thing is, his line of attack is immediately to go after Tommy Sotomayor's complexion. So that should have been a big sign. So it's usually the medium tone people that like kind of like exploits the colorism thing, in my opinion. With Rasheeda, another thing with Rasheeda is she doesn't look at her W's. Like, you guys are saying she was beautiful. To me, she alright. Like, I like Ruby more than I like her. So that guy that like that her because she's dark, that's you. But she alright. But to me, she doesn't look at any of her W's. Like, she's not fat, she's not broke, she's not ugly. Like, oh, somebody don't like your color, okay? Mad people got other issues too. But she's acting like it's the end of the world because she dark. She doesn't look at any positive thing about her. And I think when you don't acknowledge your W's in this life, you're gonna be bitter. You're gonna scorch earth. You hate everybody. You hate all black people and shit. Like, you just got a real major issue. So hopefully she's listening. I think she will be listening. Hey, she need to acknowledge. She needs to love the people that love her. Well, I don't like for instance, like this guy right here. He was bigging up dark skinned women. And her bigging up light skinned men. I never seen a light skinned nigga defend a dark skinned woman when Lil Wayne or some nigga come out and say I don't date dark bitches, or fucking what's this nigga name? Kodak Black. Talking about yellow bitches, da da da. And I'm like, nigga, welcome to light skinned niggas don't check this nigga. Granted. And for you, the guy that like dark skinned women, I don't even hear niggas that got a fetish or a love for dark-skinned women defending dark-skinned women against these niggas. Nobody's pulling the Will Smith card. Nobody's smacking niggas that's colorist. Y'all niggas let them talk shit about dark-skinned women.
Real quick, before we continue, let me just address this. Please stop timing people out. Like, that's not what we're here to do. I'm about to take wrenches and start all over again because, like, people keep hiding and timing people out. Please don't do that, whoever that is. Thank you. All right, you can continue.
Yeah, I just don't see the defense. Like, there's no protection when a nigga come out and say some grimy shit about dark-skinned women. There's no defense.
Hey, easy on the swears. We get your point, but easy on the swears, Ace. I know Rasheeda already started it off, but
yeah. So there needs to be a balance with that, but. At the end of the day, like I said, she doesn't look at any of her positives, which I kind of understand. But at the same time, you got to love you first. And I hope she's listening. Nobody going to love you. Nobody going to love you more than you can love yourself. Okay? So you gotta be the main one being, for lack of a better word, conceited. Because in the black community, if you don't protect your own dignity, niggas will just strip you from that. They'll strip you. And we know in the greater community, in the white community, they don't care about black dignity at all. You feel me? So she need to put her own self on a pedestal, and she need to care about herself and acknowledge the people that love her and stick around the people that care about you. And that's all I really gotta say.
My major issue is, first of all, let me just address this really fast and say multiracial movement. There's only so much we can be in the chat, which is why we invite you to come up on the panel where you won't be silenced because you'll be able to speak freely because, again, no echo chambers. We can control what's happening up here on the panel. We have to leave it up to the mods to use good judgment, and hopefully y'all are using good judgment and only banning people who really deserve to be banned and timed out. But now, with that being said, if you want to speak freely, please come up. We will let you speak your piece. Now, what I want to say in regards to what you said there, which, because I absolutely agree, but my issue is when people get themselves into situations. So, for example, if you are a darkest person, or you are fighting for dark-skinned women rights and dark-skinned rights, and then you marry someone who's light-skinned or white, right? Then you produce children who are not dark-skinned. Like, I just feel like sometimes people don't necessarily think that through to the logical end. Whereas if everything you say is going to impact your children. And so now your children are going to see you coming and speaking the way that you do. And if they don't fit the mold, right, they're going to feel lesser than. They are going to feel inferior. They're going to feel like you see them as inferior because that's what you're preaching. And so I do have an issue when people choose to not follow their own narratives. So if you think that dark-skinned women and dark-skinned men should be together, then you should marry a dark-skinned person and you should produce dark-skinned children. That's my personal belief. And if you're going to produce children who are, with a light-skinned or a brown-skinned person, you're probably going to produce at least one light-skinned, if not multiple. And you need to think about what your narratives and what you're fighting for, the world is going to lead to for them tomorrow. And I'm not sure that she always thinks about that.
But why should it matter who you decide to produce children with? It all that matters on who you are compatible with and who fits the narrative that you live and who caters and provides to you. It shouldn't be about the color of your skin. It should be about who cares about you the most, not about the color of the skin. I mean, come on, Dr. Martin Luther King said this himself. I don't know the speech,
so
but
let me answer you. So why would it matter in this case, right? Let's say, for example, let's say that I don't, this is not real, right? But let's say that I walked around and all I talked about is how dark-skinned women are genetically inferior and they deserve to be at the bottom and blah, 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 blah. And then I went and married a dark-skinned man. I'm going to probably produce some brown-skinned and dark-skinned children.
Exactly.
And then they are going to hear me. Hold on.
With that type of rhetoric for 60 years. We've been getting dogged for decades.
But it's out of my mouth,
we still love y'all.
It's out of Jay. What I'm saying is, out of my own mouth, my children are going to hear me basically denigrating them, right? Because I'm denigrating black people based on a skin tone. So that's why it matters. That's why it matters. That's why in the case that I'm addressing, that's why it matters.
It only matters because you create it.
That's what I'm saying.
You created that narrative. You're the one that they had to grow up around listening to that type of rhetoric, and you're the one who's going to have to solve that problem. You say like we have to answer that question for you and your kids.
No, what I'm saying, that's not what I said.
Indoctrination. You raised them in a household where they had to hear that type of nonsense, and you're the one who's going to have to answer to it. When they get old enough into age and they start figuring out, hey, whoa. I've been listening to my mom and, this ain't right. She said this, but I'm not feeling it. And the world is telling me different. And they trying to mix these forces and they just won't match.
Right. But Jay, that's exactly what I'm saying, right? I'm saying that my issue with activists like Rasheeda, who don't live according to, in essence, what they're preaching, is that I don't think that they think through to the logical bottom, where they're going to be raising black children who are going to have those inferiority complexes and those issues because of what they're hearing their own mothers say, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And so I have an issue with that. That's my.
You're absolutely correct. Her daughter's going to have some problems if she doesn't already. I mean, I don't like talking about the kids. They're supposed to be off limits, but I've heard videotape of other people when she's left her cam on when she thought she was off, and yeah, she's been exposed to dysfunction in her house before. And if you listen to the right YouTubers, and I ain't gonna say no names, but I think you know who I'm talking about. The person
True.
that's bold enough to put that online and get flagged down numerously every.
All right. Well, let's hear what adult supervision has to say. Thank you very much for coming up.
Yes, ma'am.
What, EJ? Adult supervision? You there? Oh, wait. What in the world? No, I guess not. I don't know what happened there. Okay. My bad. But Melody's back, so that's good.
Yeah, that fell off. I don't know what happened. My service is bad.
Something must be happening. But okay. So I think that, this probably would be a good time for final thoughts. What do you think, Val?
Yeah, I think so. We're hitting the 2 hour mark. So let's start with Jay. What's your final thoughts?
All right. I'm gonna take this right out of my favorite Jerry Springer episode. Oh boy. I was like, my final thoughts is, man, I'm not a colorist. I don't really care about your color. I have a preference, but I'm willing to settle. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I don't care what color you is. If you make me happy, then I'm gonna do my best to make you happy. That doesn't matter what color you is. You know what I mean? If you're gonna give me children, I'll provide for them, even after even after the inevitable divorce or whatnot. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do as a man, and I prefer to do it with a black man, but I ain't got no problem doing it with any other race or ethnicity or what you call that, religion of woman. And 9 times out of 10, when a woman dates a man, she follows his lead and not the other way around. I'm not riching. I'm not getting my Richard on.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Let's have Young East. What's your final thoughts?
Mm. I want everybody to acknowledge the fact that Rasheeda couldn't take a compliment. Like when dude complimented her, she kind of like it just
Me?
seems like she couldn't even. Yeah, she couldn't even receive
Yeah.
it. And I know she used her husband as like an excuse to
Yeah.
not accept the she used her husband as an excuse to not accept the compliment, I guess. But I just wanted to point that out. Like it runs deep, and there was something else. Damn, what was something else I was gonna say? I just feel like it just points to the fact that she won't acknowledge her for lack of a better word, her own privilege. It sounds crazy, but I think it sort of ties into that because her choosing a light skinned guy and all of that, to me that's whatever, but it might point to the fact that it runs so deep that her point of retaliation is even to sleep outside of her complexion. Like that shit is it's childhood trauma. That's why she can't get through it. She needs I'm sorry. She needs therapy. I don't know why she's up here
They
talking
get this
about
from their mama.
no, hold on.
Let Young East have his thoughts, please. Go ahead.
She needs therapy. She needs to sit down with a man and a woman. And she needs therapy for hours to work through those complexes she built up with her own inferiority, in my opinion, because she thinks she can get on YouTube or on just any platform and just, I guess, nag black men into choosing
and
dark
get
skinned
26
women
views
first.
for doing that shit.
Yeah, just choosing dark skinned women first. Like it's to me.
Like what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
It's nagging. It's nagging at best. Like I just feel like she needs therapy first and foremost. Period. And here's another thing. Why don't she get an ass job or a boob job or something? Like, why aren't you doing what all the other girls do? Why don't you do? Hold on. Stop talking. No, stop talking when I'm talking.
Whoa, Jay.
Damn, nigga.
My bad.
Hold on. It's his final thought.
Right.
Like I said, there's other women that struggle with their beauty and their acceptance, their validation. Okay, it seems like her issue is not colorism, is she doesn't have pretty privilege. That's her real. That seems like one of her real issues. So I'm like, mad chicks ain't got pretty privilege. Chicks look for alternative ways for validation. They go on Instagram with a butt job, and dudes call them beautiful because it's a form of validation. I don't see why she's not thirst trapping in that way remotely. You feel me? So for her, to me, it's a lack of pretty privilege first and foremost. Before you say niggas hate themselves or society has constructed men to have a preference for light skinned women, before you even do all of that, are you cute? Are you a bad bitch? Because in my opinion, she's not. But that's my opinion. To other guys, she might be. But if most niggas ain't treating you like a bad bitch, there's a good chance you're not. You're not that pretty, so you need to level up first and foremost, and then complain about colorism if you get treated badly. But don't just get here as an average chick, subpar, average at best, talking about niggas don't want you first. Get the that's major cap. You get me? So I feel like there's a lot of holes in her argument, my nigga. That's all I gotta say.
Let me get one more word off.
I'm out, nigga.
Hold on one second.
Thanks, Youngie.
It's adult supervision's turn. So let me talk.
Yo, game changer. That's good. That's good.
Let me say this right quick, please.
Yeah, you have a good night, boss. Yo, can I get one more piece before I
man. You got a lot of pieces already. You got a lot of pieces. You got like a 12 piece. You got like a 20 piece with the biscuits, gravy,
you guys can get in
fries,
and
everything.
over to adult supervision. But go ahead, game changer and Jay.
Let me just say, East.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man.
All right.
She's over, man.
I need one at a time.
Okay, guys.
One person at a time.
Too much. Way too much.
One at a time. So go ahead, game changer. What were you saying?
I just was telling East that she has nice titties. She don't need work on her titties, at least.
No, yeah, she's a good-looking woman. I actually met her in person, so I know she's a pretty woman in person.
She's not hot enough because she wouldn't be complaining. You listen. You don't hear Tika Sumner complaining. You don't hear any of these bad chicks complain. That's very dark. Okay, she's not. First of all, be bad, be hot, be something hot. Like she can do something to get a bigger butt. Okay, she can do something with her hair. I don't know what she could take off them glasses. Okay, there's a lot of things she could do. Do your makeup, catfish, niggas.
She's good
do
just the way she is. She's good just the way she is. I don't think she's a bad looking woman at all. I met her. So she's a good looking woman.
All right.
That's all I'm saying. But let me get adult supervision.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, y'all can't be, as a people, we can't be arguing about skin color forever. Like, you sound like, as a people, you sound crazy. Like, if you're in families, making families, like Ruby was saying, you're making families with, like, how are you even getting under the same house with these characteristics and then deciding to divide your house on like the most asinine characteristics, which is like, it's literally just your epidermis, and like people are like basing a whole religion. They're coming up with ideas, and it's just crazy. It's like, if you have a bad family, like, you got a bad family. If your family got antisocial personality disorders and they just don't know how to treat people, that's just what it is. It's like, then you're gonna say it's like because of your skin color. It's like, no, it's because they fucked up people. I mean, can I say that word? Is that loud?
Let's try not to use profanity.
Yeah, let's try not to next time. But you already
said it. Yeah.
They are dysfunctional individuals, and continuing to pass on these dysfunctional behaviors is just crazy. That's basically what I had to say. Like, she looks like a decent looking woman. Her psychology is the issue, and she's also hustling. I mean, I don't think she fully believes all that stuff. She's just getting her money because she knows the people. You know, she can get money off of them because they, let's face it, some of these people are slow. Like, there's a lot of slow people that you could even trap them down with like these ideas, like make life decisions based on your skin complexion. Like, that's fucking, that is very crazy. That is extremely crazy thinking for a human at this time in the world, at this level of civilization, to make decisions based on that one variable. That's crazy. That's just what I want to leave it at.
Right, thank you. We appreciate you. And last but not least, we have Game Changer. What are your final thoughts?
Yeah, I greatly appreciate the show. Thanks for having me. It was a great build. I hope everybody hit that like button, and yeah, thanks for having me again.
Thank you. Hit the button, definitely. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Oh, and Ruby made that special, what do you call it? That
Intro
video
video.
thing? Yeah,
Yeah.
in the beginning. So can you explain why you made that?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, maybe we should play it again for people who missed it on the way out. Um, but
The
yeah,
the winner.
right. So we do have a winner. I mean, I'm sure some of y'all figured out the channel name changed altogether. So we do have a winner for our competition that we proposed to you guys a month ago, where help us name our channel, and we have a winner, right? And that winner was Baloo TV. What is it now? 2021? There's something else
It
with
was
the other.
2021, but I think he changed it to 2022.
I know, but Baloo
So,
TV, y'all seen him up here a couple times, and he came up with Live and Upfront. We loved it. We are changing all of our branding to Live and Upfront. So, I hope
Live.
you see some of it now today,
Wait.
including our intro, our overlays. We got all kinds of stuff for Live and Upfront.
yeah.
So
I'm gonna
hopefully,
put the
hopefully you guys like
overlay
it.
up real quick so they
Mhm.
can see what it looks like. Oh, I'm trying to do it. Give me 1 second. There
That
we
one.
go.
Oh, girl, I did it right before you did. There you go.
Yeah, that's our overlay. How
Hmm.
you guys like it?
Hopefully you like this branding, and I will play now going forward after today. Obviously the first intro part with the congratulations part won't be there. It'll just be the rest of it, but this is our intro. Hopefully you guys like it. You can tell us in the comments after the video too if you want. Come back and watch it, show all your friends, let
Yeah,
us know if you like it. I worked very hard, very diligently, night and day, suffering, sweating. There was tears, there was blood, but I finally made this intro. I think that we both like it, right? Hopefully you guys
yeah,
liked it.
I think, yeah, we like it. But yeah, just if you guys were wondering, I'm the one with the dress on, and Ruby is the one next to me. So yeah,
just in case y'all were
just so
wondering.
you know, just in
Oh
case you were
yeah.
wondering.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you guys knew that already. But you want to play the
I know
intro
now.
one more time?
I'm going to play the intro on our way out, I guess. I'm just about to share it now. I have to go onto my laptop like a
So
big girl. But yeah, I got to say, this
what's your name,
conversation,
ma'am?
my name is Classic Ruby.
I'm sorry, Classic Ruby. I didn't address you. Nice to meet you,
Nice to meet you too, Jay.
or talk to you at the very least.
Well, exactly, and I'm sure you won't be a stranger. So I'm sure we'll
I
have
try.
other
I listen
opportunities.
to y'all. I listen to y'all more than I talk. I'm in the clouds a lot, and I only came through because Rasheeda Strover came through. And I'm not. I'm not saying I'm a fan. I just like yo. I knew that. I knew this was gonna be some old crazy shit because I know how she is, and she don't make no sense. And she was gonna come at y'all every left way, every way she could on some dark skinned bullshit. I think her whole movie. I think her whole movement is dumb. But that doesn't mean I don't find her attractive. Just because I don't like a person, because a lot of people say, I don't like that person, that means I don't like anything about them. That means they're
Mhm.
ugly and their mama stank and this, that, and the third. That's how people hate nowadays. They're like, if I don't like that person, that mean they don't look good. That mean they a tranny. That mean they this. That mean they that. Like, no, I can still find somebody attractive and not agree with nothing they say because I
True.
don't agree with anything she say, but I do find her attractive.
True enough. Now make sure you show up for part 2, Jane. We'll let y'all know. So subscribe over here, live and upfront. We'll let y'all know when we have part 2 set up with Rasheeda, so you can see what else is going on. But if everyone can mute up, we are going to play the intro and congratulations again on our way out. Okay?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
congratulations, Blue, for coming up with the name. Thank
Yes.
you. You won.
Thank you. Make sure y'all enter our competitions. They're serious and they do pay out. All
Well, what
right.
am I winning in this competition?
Well, this time nothing. Someone already won, right?
No,
So next time we'll let you know. So make sure you subscribe and speak your piece on this stuff.
I've been subscribed for a while.
And
Well,
Baloo,
there
we'll
you
be
go.
sending your cash app probably
Mm-hmm.
tonight. So yeah, look
Mm-hmm.
out for that.
Exactly.
All right.
All right, y'all. Thank you very much for coming. Cheers, y'all.
You're welcome.
You're so amazing. You took the time to figure me out. name? What's my name? What's my name? Oh na na, what's my name? Oh na na,